What's up, guys? Sorry I'm late. Yeah. Yeah, Donnie, I know. Gross. There's a point. We'll get to it. Get your ass in here. I don't see you in the green room, if you will. But yeah, well, I'm going to explain why we're talking about Starbucks. I think you'll find it a little bit interesting. Well, Five Door Coonley had the inside information because I was on the phone with him when I realized that it was 9 o'clock and I wasn't live yet. And I was on the phone with him giving him shit because I knew he was having a panic attack because of Justin's knife testing at 30. But we're not gonna we're not gonna get into that. Kyle has zero faith in the best tester. What's up, Donnie?
What up?
What's going on, man?
Chilling, man.
Sorry I was late.
Oh, I don't give a fuck.
There's not many people in here, but I'm going to get this out of the way right quick. The reason I said let's talk about Starbucks has nothing to do with coffee or the company. Well, it has to do with the company.
Well, fuck the company.
Yeah, but Fat Electrician did a 22-minute special video today on Starbucks and how they're the world's largest unregulated bank. The reason he said that is because of Starbucks gift card service.
Okay.
Like earn gift cards. And I don't remember the number of dollars that is in just hanging around in their gift card service.
Right.
But do you want to guess how much they make yearly on the interest that's in their gift card service? Like other people's money that they're not using?
No, because it's going to disgust me.
Starbucks is making $85 million a year off their customers' money that belongs to them. That's just sitting there in their gift card service. That's not why I wanted to talk about Starbucks. I know
it's a good. I can't knock the hustle.
Right. And
it's a great hustle.
Here's the thing: if it's a profitable company, what could they be doing with that money to better the world? But that's not the point.
Right.
Point is, he was telling the story about how Starbucks got so big. At one point in time, Starbucks was opening a location every 15 hours. Yep. They do not do franchises. They're all corporate owned. We know about their politics, whether you agree with them or not. But this is what interested me. Starbucks started out as this company of these guys that sold coffee and coffee makers, the coffee machines.
Yep.
And business got so good, they come up with the idea, hey, let's open a coffee shop. So they started doing that. Business started blowing up. More and more people started going to Starbucks to get coffee. And as it got bigger, this is where it applies to you and I. They decided, hey, we could be more profitable and service more customers if we went more automated. So they did away with all the old espresso machines and all that. And they went to these automated coffee makers where an employee could just push a button and it spit out a pre-made cup of cappuccino, whatever. I don't know that much about fancy coffee. It spit out a finished cup of flavored coffee.
Okay.
All of a sudden, Starbucks started losing business and losing money.
Yeah.
So they hired this guy and he came in. And they actually closed down every location, not at the same time.
Sure.
But for like a week, they closed down every location. Did away with all that automated machinery. Put the old school coffee makers in because they realized people wanted a barista to make their coffee.
Yep.
And when they did that, sales skyrocketed again. Unfortunately, this happened a few years ago, and from what I understand, that guy's no longer there, and they're kind of going back to automated. But my point was that even something as simple as a stupidly overpriced cup of coffee, people were willing to pay it to have a person make it for them versus have a machine spit it out.
Yeah.
And I thought that was very interesting that worked even in the coffee world, whereas now people like you and I are having to compete with these perfectly made cups of coffee being spit out of a machine that a person didn't make. You know,
yeah.
I really hope Well, I mean, we can see that there's still a desire for a handmade thing, or our stuff wouldn't be selling at all. You know, whether it's selling at a point that we want it to now or not, that's a whole other question. But you know, it just proves that there is a market for handmade things.
Oh, most definitely, man.
And
Yeah.
if it can affect a company as big as Starbucks, you know.
So as much as I hate that or despise that company in its just entirety, mostly because they have shitty coffee. Like fuck, I don't even care about the politics or whatever.
Oh,
And they,
that was another thing. You talk about the shitty coffee. That was part of the problem too. Is they used to grind the coffee in house,
right.
so the restaurant smelt like fresh ground coffee.
Yep.
And then they quit doing that.
Yep.
And that was he went back to all that. He made them start grinding coffee in house, all that stuff again. Sorry to interrupt you.
Basically, what I want to say is, as much as I hate that fucking joint, now granted, without them, it would have ended up being someone else eventually. But Starbucks is the reason that there is a shit ton of small, super fancy coffee shops.
Right.
Because people are like, oh shit, people like this.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a little.
People realize they're already into it and they're like, holy fuck, people will actually buy this if it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Starbucks is shit trash, but they are the spark that initiated that.
Yeah, well, I've got 3 within a half a mile. There's not
they're like 7-Elevens.
Yeah, there's 3, not Starbucks, but there's 3 mom and pop owned
Oh, okay.
boutique coffee shops within a mile of my house right now, and they seem to be
Dude, you live in the middle of nowhere, ain't got shit, you country bumpkin motherfucker, and you got like specialty coffee.
Yeah, it's shocking.
Cheers,
now,
y'all.
I can tell looking, that they're just buying these corporate labeled flavorings and stuff.
Oh, so it's not a real boutique place,
right?
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah, you can see the
I'm a snob about the coffee, bro. Like the place I go to is fucking legit.
Right. I remember I had a buddy of mine that worked at Waffle House, and I was in there one night, and the guy was telling him, and the only reason I come in here is because the coffee's so good. And he legit looked at that guy and said, dude, we put out bids. We buy all the broken and rejected beans that everybody else will not buy. That's where we get our coffee.
Nice.
Just reject beans that come in broken, so they've gone stale, for being exposed to oxygen. He's like, this is the worst coffee that can possibly be made.
Nice.
And you love it.
Right.
Yeah, but it's just like, I had another friend that worked at a local chicken plant that contracts for Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, Taco Bell only buys grade C chicken. So that chicken can legit have a big cancerous growth on it. We just cut that out, grind up the rest of it, and it goes to Taco Bell. It's like literally nobody else will buy it. Grocery stores won't buy it. Nobody will buy this chicken. If it falls on the floor and we pick, it's still grade C chicken. It goes to Taco Bell.
Nice.
It's like, if you eat anything at Taco Bell, you are eating the nastiest ingredients money can buy.
Motherfuckers, I don't eat fast food.
However, once again, though, Donnie, Mexican food wasn't even a thing here 30 years ago.
Well, yeah, probably not down there.
Yeah, and now, because of Taco Bell, you have all these little Hispanic mom and pop owned authentic Mexican restaurants.
Which that's nice.
Yeah.
Because that's probably banging. Some of them,
Some of them are. Some of them are really good. But the question is, would they exist if it wasn't for Taco Bell normalizing Mexican food to rednecks?
Right. Yeah. Maybe not around those parts.
Probably not.
Yeah. Same. Yeah. Exactly. Same thing as Starbucks. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody in the chat, sorry I haven't said hi. Y'all are too fast. What up?
Yeah. Let's see.
There's been so many. Like I'm not even going.
I always feel bad trying to say hey to everybody because you can't catch them all. But we got Kyle, of course, and Five Doors, Zach Stuff, Jeffrey Dawson, Todd Carr, Demon Ott, Joseph S., Jeffrey Dawson, Pretty Fly for a Knife Guy, still the best name in the knife YouTube world, Pretty Fly for a Knife Guy.
Only if he has dreads.
Yeah. Marco, Muirsalt, Snot Rag, Snot Rag, I refuse to call you Snow Trog because that's a badass name.
One
too.
Flew Over the Cheetos Nest. That's a good one. That's a good movie.
Cheeto always has great names.
That's a good one.
I mean, he'll always be Cheeto Bandito to me.
Nice.
But yeah, Cheetos changes his up once a week. But thank you guys for being here.
Yeah, man. Thanks for tuning in. For fucking since I'm on here, that's just sad for y'all.
I've enjoyed you being on here, man.
No, I have a good time. Sometimes I'm a little drunk and a jackass, but y'all can deal with it.
No, dude, you were not a jackass. Trust me. As peaceful as Grateful Panic is, he's been on here and been drunk and been a jackass. There's no doubt.
Who was that?
Grateful Panic.
Oh yeah.
There's a couple of nights he was a jackass. He got a little too skid.
I mean, I've seen him kind of drunk on there before, but he seems more. I feel like I'm more a little more animated than he is.
Well, I don't know if you've seen him at his worst. But
well, maybe not. Then, yeah.
Scotch and Things is here.
Scotch and Things, what up, dude?
Let Me Get That is in here. I love that name too. Let Me Get That. Yeah, but yeah, not bad mouthing John when he's not around, but he's gotten a little. He passed out on me in a live stream one night.
No shit.
Yeah, dude. He just without saying a word, he just took himself off screen. And
Stevie, what? God damn it.
Yeah, without saying a word, he closed his screen, and I thought he did it by accident. So I put him back on screen. I don't know how to stop it. Within that 3 seconds, dude, he was unconscious in his chair. Maybe he's not even here, so I don't know how to stop it. He's already left.
It's so outrageous.
I don't know what to do. He's playing me back for coming on his live stream and talking about my wares too much, I guess.
He's just asserting his dominance. It's fine.
He's pissing on his tree. It's good. He does own this particular StreamYard account.
He has his rights.
He does. And I have gone on his before and accidentally ended the entire stream. So there's old Josh Branson, the sock bandit, Mark Park.
Hey.
Josh Branson created the most offensive said faction that has ever existed with his sock story, dude. That will go down in infamy.
Come on.
Dude, I failed a flick on Bob DeMarco today. Did you see that?
You did what? Oh, yeah.
During my interview. It's because I can't feel anything with his finger because of this stupid bandage. I felt it again then. But yeah, that's what happens when you don't have feel it in your fingers and you touch hot objects.
I've seen that. I've seen that.
Oh, Demon, you're correct. That live was every bit as childish as what we needed at the moment. Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, thanks for the kind words about my hand skills on the interview there.
Hey, man, I ain't kissing nobody's ass because I don't need to. But I've told you time and time again, man, that inspires me that you have the patience to do what you do in order to achieve perfection.
I just appreciate that you recognize what I'm doing.
And I appreciated that you recognized that my belt was running backwards.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what it's all about.
That's right.
Oh, goddamn it. Demonox in here and you're in here. Hold on. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second.
Remember, I did lose connection in the first. And the look on Bob's face was like, this is what I get for dealing with unprofessional YouTubers, I guess. Because what you guys don't know, that was our second attempt at filming. The first time I was at the shop and we lost Wi-Fi. So, and I didn't realize it, but not only did I waste Bob's time, but I wasted some of Jim's time. They're a very professionally ran channel.
Yeah.
They're both sitting there ready to record. And yeah, It was kind of embarrassing. Marco, what's up, buddy?
Dude, that dude knows shit happens. That dude has had a channel for a long time, man. Like, he hasn't had his own problems.
Let me tell y'all something, man. Bob DeMarco is a much more relatable human being than most of you even think he is.
He's probably more relatable than you or I.
Well, he just, there's aspects to Bob's life that he doesn't share, probably because he can't, because of the industry that he's in. But yeah, Bob DeMarco is a good dude. If you've ever heard his story about running from the police because of his knife and scaling a fence with Constantino wire on it and cutting his thigh wide open and bleeding like a stuck hog, all because he was high and paranoid. The cops were never after him. He just thought they were.
I can't wait to talk to him about this.
Yeah. Bob couldn't believe that I remembered that story from that meeting because he told it years ago. And I brought it up and he got tickled. But yeah.
Nice.
And Bob's been training to kill people his entire life. Like, he's taken classes over his entire life in all sorts of martial arts and whatever that knife fighting that. Yeah. Bob's a little bit of a savage. But
he seems kind of like he might be. He's a little unassuming. Like, I only know him from watching his channel or whatever. But
right. Well, you probably watched things that Bob produced that you had no idea.
Yeah.
There were several little shows on the Discovery Channel about like military weapons and stuff that Bob DeMarco produced those.
No shit.
Yeah, he's. I'm not saying he's a huge deal, but he's.
No, but that's fucking cool, and I didn't know that about him. You know what I mean? Like, I had no idea.
Yeah, he don't talk about. I mean, I don't think he keeps it a secret, but he doesn't talk about it very much.
Well, and that's kind of humble in a way,
Yeah, Kyle. Yes, Donnie. I think Donnie is going on with Bob sometime in the future.
I mean, I would love to. If he hits me up, I'll be down.
Yeah, he will, because he was excited about it. When I explained, your process and what it was about you that impresses me, you could tell he was all about it. What I love about Bob too is Bob's one of those guys that you can completely disagree with, and he doesn't hate you for it. He doesn't hold, like I brought up today on his interview. If you watch the whole thing, I said something about people taking the easy path and designing knives and doing nothing.
And he does that.
He does that, and if you notice, he took a little offense to it. He stated his side of it.
He took a moment to think about it.
Yeah.
To think about what you really said and how he wanted to respond to it.
Yeah, that's what he does.
Yeah, no, and I appreciated that. Yeah, I watched the whole thing.
Yeah. I really like that. I don't think anybody. There are more entertaining channels because of my silly sense of humor, but I don't think anybody in the industry does a better job than Bob DeMarco. I just don't. He unlike Shane, who wears the grudge like a crown. You're right, Lemmy. That's not necessarily, Lemmy. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but like
Cheeto falling down is so good and so fucking depressing.
Yeah, that's such a good movie though. But like I still pop up in Cole's chat every now and then, and it blows my mind how many people in that room hate my guts because I said something negative about something that Cole was doing. I didn't say anything negative about who he is. Me and Cole are friends. We get along great. We don't agree on very much, in all honesty. And that's okay. But I just think it's odd that Cole doesn't hold a grudge, but a lot of his fanboys do, which is kind of icky a little bit when you think.
Well, I mean, it's like anybody that has a fan club. The fan club is way more fucking cringe than the dude,
Right.
I don't know. It was pretty early when I started paying attention to who the fuck Cole was. And he's a character, and I don't know shit about him. I found out that he has a live, and I started watching it, saw fellow people in the chat or whatever. And it was maybe the third or fourth time I ever seen him live, and I was like, I commented, I was like, Cole, I was like, you ever done comedy, like stand-up comedy?
He has.
Yeah, and he has. But I know that because of watching him.
Yeah.
And just because I'm into kind of like watching comedy and that kind of things. But I was like, any comic, Shane, if he's a comic, He don't give a fuck what you got to say.
Right.
Christ, it is a bitch. I'll fight him right now. I told him like fucking
But did you see what he said to you? I don't know if
like
you
Fight
caught
Club style. I want to fight him, but
I don't know if you caught it, but he said something about he might like your knives. He don't know. You'd have to send him one. And yeah, he said something similar about Sharif here recently. About I think he even come out and said that he disliked one of Sharif's designs. And then when he realized that Sharif was in the chat, he was like, "Well, man, maybe if you sent me a free knife, I would change my mind." Now, Cole doesn't think that's cringy, and that's okay.
right.
You and I both know it's cringy that, your opinion can be bought. Guys, that's not just Cole. Man, that is so many people in the knife YouTube world.
Yeah, Cole's just a goon, man. He's just a goon.
Yeah. I just want to say who sends that to him. Trust me, Stevie.
I ain't sending shit to him. He always, because the other day he was like, "Oh, you should send me something," like you were talking about, like because had a pass around knife for a minute, you know.
Right.
I was like, "Motherfucker, I ain't sending you shit. You don't respond to no messages. Yeah. I wouldn't see my shit back or on to the next person for like 6 months. Go fuck yourself."
Yeah. But like I said, I've tried to tell people that all the time. I just I don't hate any of the players, but there are aspects of the game that I fucking detest.
Well, yeah, always.
I don't hold it personally against anybody. I don't hate Metal Complex. I don't hate Cole. I don't, yeah. I've said things about some things that people are doing that I don't think are right. And if they want to talk about it, but I don't keep harping on it because that would just be me being an asshole.
Scotch and things. I need a free silo. What the fuck do you build?
Silo. Yeah. Yeah, send us a silo, Scotch and things.
Fuck yeah, dude. You give me a silo, your knife's free, bro. That's a shop for me, homie.
Absolutely. We'll
that's an outdoor building for me.
We'll do an unboxing, an assembly video.
Hell yeah. You might even get 2, homie.
Dude, can you imagine how many levels you could have, like the heat treating up on the top floor so the heat goes out?
Dude, I would love to have it. Dude, my house is small as fuck, dude. I have a really small house. Like having an outdoor building would be so awesome.
You could put a fireman pole right down the middle of it. It's like
I fucking would too.
And just slide right back down to the bottom, go back to grinding.
I fucking would.
It'd be so fun. Yeah. Yeah. But like I said, guys, I didn't want to bring up anything, like I'm bad mouthing anybody because I'm not. I just, and you'll hear me say it over and over and over again. I don't believe in a world where we should hate one another because of something that we do or we believe. It makes no sense, man.
Unless you're a racist cocksucker, then you can fuck off.
And just so you guys know, you guys were on here when I did a giveaway of one of my knives. And I actually gave away a Polar. And Stevie won.
I can handle the AC, Scotch.
And he DSKFS, whatever you want to call it. He gifted his winning to Cole at Broke Ass Knives. Fuck you, Stevie. I got it right that time. And this is Cole's knife. Cole decided he wanted this one because he could use it in the kitchen as well. And I wasn't sure about these liners, dude, but if I can get them to show up. I love this pink, dude. This black.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll tell you again, dude, if you truly want a slicey knife from me, this is the model to get, dude. These things are fucking paper thin. Look at that. It almost disappears in the camera. And it does have some flex to it.
You know me, that's my blade style. I like that.
Yeah, they haven't been super popular. I've sold a couple. But in all honesty, though, Donnie, they didn't come out to be what I intended them to be. I did intend to make this like a tactical style knife.
Right.
But it's probably a little thin for that. Now, don't get me wrong, thousands of people get killed every year with a kitchen knife. But I just hate to call it that because it's not hard use. But once I discovered how great it works in the kitchen. So, Stevie, this would have been, this is what you gave Cole. I just wanted to show that. That pink poking out, dude, I love it. I'm really, really a fan of that pink. So I got to get that off soon. That's not the Goon, is it? No, Josh Branson. The Goon is about twice that thickness, and I don't even have the steel in for it yet. I've made one and sold it, and it got kind of popular. And just so you guys know, Stevie informed me that Scott Steels already makes a knife called the Goon. So I reached out to Scott, made sure he was cool with it because I didn't name it that. The guy that I made it for reminds me a lot of Donnie, actually. He's a local tattoo artist that has literally threatened to fight everybody in this county. I love him to death. I love him to death, dude. He's a fucking asshole, and I love him. So I made him the knife, and I was like, well, dude, you designed it, you named it. He's like, it's the fucking Goon, dude. And I was like, Goon it is.
Nice.
And at the time, he didn't even know that I decided to name my knives variants of that word, the Goon, the Brat, the Heathen, wherever it goes from here. So that just fit in perfectly.
Nice.
Yeah. And M4, the Goon's going to be an M4, and the steel is on its way. I purchased it before I even took any orders. So
I've never used that.
I had one sold in Nitro V, and I contacted him tonight, and I was like, dude, I would feel horrible if you got your knife and then found out everybody else got it in M4 and you had that fear of missing out. So I was like, look, I hadn't started on it yet. So if you'd rather have it in M4, I'll do it in M4. And of course, he wanted it in M4s. And I don't blame him.
I don't even know shit about M4.
Yeah. I like M4. I mean, M4 is mid-tier on toughness. It's high tier on.
What is it? Is it like a stainless tool steel?
No, it's a tool steel.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of Spyderco and Benchmade's top sellers, they did it M4, but they still didn't do it extremely well.
What up, Javon?
We're talking. We're probably talking about the 64 to 65 HRC range on this M4, so it's going to be
nice, yeah.
Very hard. Yeah. I've got Super Steel Steve fishing to do some 4V for me. That was a custom order, and I want to explain how that's working. This guy ordered a couple of knives in 4V.
Ethan, what up, you crazy bastard?
And I'm gonna have enough left over to make one knife.
Let this fucking joint go out, man.
I'm gonna have enough left over to make one knife in 4V. I'm not quite ready to announce that. I may see who really wants some 4V and find out what style knife they want and go in that direction. Like a custom build, but. Crewware better. Well, I've got some knives being made in Crewware right now, Ethan, and I'm more than happy to make some more in Crewware. But I'll tell you this, dude, at the price of Crewware and 4V, it's almost going to have to be a custom order. I can't gamble on paying that much for steel and then have it not sell.
Ethan, all my Blade West knives are going to be in Crewware, buddy.
Yeah,
come get one.
Let me ask you this, Don. Were you impressed with how easy Crewware is to work with pre-heat treat?
I mean,
it like cutting it and shaping it. It feels like mild steel to me.
Even grinding it after heat treat wasn't bad.
Yeah, I did pre-grind mine.
But it holds up, man. Like the shit holds up like a motherfucker.
Yeah, I pre-ground mine some, so I wouldn't have to fight with it too much. But when I went to finish those bevels up, I still expected me to take forever. Because it's 65.
Yeah. And that's what mine was. Mine was 65, 66.
Yeah, it didn't take forever. I'm really impressed with working with.
Yeah, I can't believe it holds up as well it does for how easy it
drills like mild steel. Just no problems at all. But I want to talk about something else. This is
Ethan. Yeah, did you like it?
This is one stick of the 4V that I ordered. Can you guys see Donnie in that still? Donnie, can you see yourself?
I sure can.
Not a perfect mirror. But dude, this came from Alpha Knife Supply like this.
Yeah.
I've never received a piece of steel this nice.
No, their shit they have nice shit, dude. That's why I use them.
Yeah. I'm not bad mouthing Pops at all, but this is not even a stainless steel. My Nitro V doesn't look anything like this when I get it. I was
No.
really impressed with what this looks like out of the box.
Yeah, they grind it nice. Like it might not come perfectly flat, but it comes well fucking finished.
Yeah, I was really impressed with the finish on this out of the box. So I got another stick of that coming, and then I've got sticks of M4 coming. So I'm at a point right now with the Nitro V that I have. If it doesn't, even if it doesn't sell, of course it's going to be cheaper, so more people can afford it. But even if it, even if it doesn't sell, I'm okay with it.
You're about to, homie.
I've got a little festival I've got to go to in October, and it'd be nice to have some inventory to take there anyway. So,
right.
Yeah.
Hold on, Ethan. Hold on. Fuck. What do you mean, fuck Magna Cut? I like Magna Cut a lot, and I don't use my knife in a nice way, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's the greatest steel ever, but I do really, really like it. Like, I like it. I think it's like a super improved or better version of CPM 154.
I would agree with that. I think
it almost acts exactly the same, just better all around.
Yeah, we overhyped Magna Cut to begin with. That was
that's all new steels, man.
Right. That was everybody's fault. However, if you think back on what Larian created it for, he was trying to create the best corrosion resistant steel possible.
And a tool steel at that. It's not a stainless, it's a tool steel.
Right. And he did that.
Yeah.
And then some guys tried heat treating it well beyond what he recommended and realized, hey, this didn't really lose that much toughness. At 65, it barely lost any toughness, and now it has gained really good edge retention. But that's not what it was designed for. So now everybody's like, Magna Cut doesn't have the edge retention that some people say it does. Well, not all Magna Cut will, but yeah, we're judging it for something that it's not to begin with. The fact,
and then the heat treat is so specified that, like,
yeah,
and use, like, what are you doing with it? What do you actually need it to be hardened to?
Right.
There's such a hype train on the HRC, like. Yeah, it's great at 65, but I want a fixed blade that I'm fucking taking out in the woods at 65, and I want that shit around 61, 62.
Right. Nothing at all wrong with that. It's at 61, 62, it's still a slightly more corrosion resistant S45.
Yeah, and it does exactly what it was designed to do.
Right. But
none of these things are like magical, they have their limits.
Yeah, we started judging it for something that it wasn't created for.
Right.
So that's not the steel's fault,
B Shady, you should check out Frankie, What's the Point? EDC's video about the knife I made him in crew wear.
Yeah, I saw that. That dude really seems to be really happy with that stuff.
Yeah, he's super stoked on it. But he has really been beating the shit out of it. Like, he sent me a bunch of, like, personal videos. And then just, like, he hasn't resharpened it. He's just been stropping it with some green compound and shit. And the motherfucking shit has been holding up nice, dude. I was pretty impressed by how much it's holding up.
Yeah.
Because I've made a few things out of it, but I've never done long-term testing on it. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Well, I know people get sick of me talking about steels, but that's...
Well, I guess I'm going to show you and Demonox specifically, if Demonox still here.
I'm sure he is.
Every once in a while we talk about tattoo machines. And I always want to fucking show them to you, but I always have them buried away. Well, I'm about to show them to you right now.
Scotch and things, I'm going to need to have a phone call with you soon. I want to talk about what you're talking about right now. I want to make sure. Yeah, this is Z-Wear. I will admit, I know nothing about Z-Wear. I just assume it's a variant of Crewwear. I have it available. I can get some Z-Wear. It's not cheap, but I don't know enough about it to hype it for a knife I'm making.
Right.
I don't know. Is it just supposed to be? Because they got like Z-Wear, Z-Tough, and There's like
Yeah,
3.
and a bunch of them are like really similar. They just have like this one's got 0.5% more chromium. This one is 0.5% less or whatever.
Right.
You like Miller Bros blades? Do you know who they are? They make the T1000 or whatever the fuck it is.
I think so. Yeah.
And they make like Wakizashis and like big gnarly hard to use shit.
Right.
They use pretty sure they use Z-Ware a lot. And they do some gnarly testing with it or whatever.
Right. Because I know when you go to Alpha.
All right, yeah, it's pretty similar to Crewware. That's what I was thinking. Demonite. Oh, there you are.
It's made by a different company. That makes sense. Because this new Micro Melt PD1 from Carpenter, it's not only the same recipe as Crewware, but from what I've been told, Carpenter doesn't even make powder metallurgy steel.
Yeah.
So is it just Crewware that they've rebranded?
I have no idea, man.
I want to show you guys what happens when I tap on CPM Rex 121 at Alpha Knife Supply. Specs. That's all you can get. Specs. There's no option to order it. So as soon as that happens, maybe we can do something in some Rex 121, but right now I can't even order it.
These two Supreme frames, these are my first 2 machines ever that my mentor Eric fucking built me.
I was a little bit shocked that S90V is not any more expensive than I thought it was, but I mean, even if S90V was free, it's still a motherfucker.
Yeah, dude.
I love your saying, you're like, man, this shit is disrespectful.
It really is, man.
Yeah. Where unlike S90V, Crewware is not.
No, it's really not. It's super easy to work.
Yeah. Well, Terry, I see you said I still like good old S35VN. If you had some truly good S35VN,
I mean that's a good steel too.
It would blow your mind how good S35VN can be. There's some S35VN out there right now that is outcutting Spyderco's Seki City K390. I know that's hard to believe, but trust me, it's happening. Steve's got some 4V out right now that is outcutting K390.
Yeah.
4V's not supposed to be a edge retention monster. It's supposed to be super tough.
Right.
But, we're all just victims of the, big knife industry deciding what, deciding what our HRC should be.
One of my favorites.
Paul, I don't know. You say who you mean when you say they? Are you telling me that I'd have to call Alpha and tell them how thick I want it and they'd roll me some? I'm not sure what you mean. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know that much about S60V, Ethan. I know I can get it.
Me too. I don't know shit about it. I don't know shit about that. I don't know shit about S45VN.
Could it be better than S90V? And if so, better in what way? Is it more tough, more corrosion resistant? Or because that's the thing we all have to realize. There's got to be a trade-off somewhere.
Well, there's always a trade-off. Demonok, I don't own any machines built by anyone other than myself or my buddy Eric that taught me how to tattoo.
Yeah. Demonok, he's a damn tattoo snob, dude. He had to make all his own ink and build his own machines and make his own needles. I just took that shit out of a damn sterile package. Because it costs, how much are tattoo needles, Donnie? Why the fuck would you want to make your own?
They're so cheap.
They're like $1, dude.
Dude, they're less than that if you buy enough of them.
Yeah. And you're over there soldering your own. Fuck that.
Dude, it's the same way with my knives, homie. I can't help it.
I know. I get it.
I didn't solder. I didn't make all my needles, but I made a lot of needles, man, when I didn't need to. But yeah, I did make my own machines. Never bought any of those. Like I've made a bunch of my own grips, stuff like that.
Paul, I think I remember talking to you about that. It may have been New Jersey Steel Bearing or something. So I will call them about that. But Because right now, the places that I can go online and just click add to cart, I can't buy it. But I'm having a lot of issues with New Jersey Steel Bearings website. I just can't make it work.
Their website fucking blows.
It does.
I fucking hate it.
I can order $1,000 worth of steel and click checkout, and it's like, motherfucker. You got to create an account.
Yeah.
Well, I already created an account. Well, your password's not any good.
Yeah.
Well, okay, let me reset my password. Sure. Enter your new password right here. And I enter it. Then I go to check out, and it's like, nah, this password's no good either.
Yep.
Yeah, or it's like, oh, this account already exists. Well, I know it does. I created it. Well, let me use it. No.
Right.
I'm not going to let you use it.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad with that shit too most of the time, man.
Yeah. Oh, man. But Paul, since you're in here now, just to make sure you don't miss my message, I do need to talk to you tomorrow. So get in touch with me tomorrow. Something I want to talk to you about. But I had a real apprenticeship. I didn't, Damon.
I did.
I didn't. I didn't pay for it. I walked in.
I didn't pay for it, but I had a real one.
I walked in on the right night.
I mean, I paid for it, but not in money, man. But I paid for it. Don't worry. Wow, exactly. I got those knees, man. They're bad now.
Oh, I didn't get much of one, dude. I had to learn tattooing kind of like I did knife making, just the hard way.
I got in because I wouldn't leave.
Yeah.
I started getting tattooed there at 15.
Would leave.
And I was cool enough that they didn't mind that I never really, I'd just show up and not leave until they did, and they didn't mind. And then I just grew into the shop,
I walked in one night. I had befriended the owner, and I walked in one night, and there was a lobby full of people.
The wild beast, it stirs.
There was a lobby full of people, and all of them wanted some flash, and none of his artists were willing to do it because, they were custom artists.
Oh, fuck.
And he just handed me a piece of flash and said, "Man, you want to do this tattoo?" And I was like, "Yeah." Took it. And then he took it back, and he was like, "Nah, but for real, man, be here tomorrow. I'll start teaching you tomorrow."
Demon Eye, yeah, that's pretty much, yeah. I basically worked for free all through high school, and then as soon as high school ended, I was like official.
And it did kind of suck because there was guys there that paid for apprenticeships that literally folded paper towels and autoclaved cubes for 6 months before they ever got to do anything.
Yeah, but out of all the people I've seen fail, it was people trying to pay to get it.
Yeah.
Motherfuckers, the people that never paid are the motherfuckers I never saw fail.
I know. We had a guy that paid $5,000 and left there talking about owning his own shop, and the motherfucker couldn't tattoo a 1-inch long straight line.
Yeah.
He would legit stretch the skin the wrong direction. I'd be like, "Preston, stop, dude." I was like, "Stretch it this way to line it this way." I was like, "Put your fingers right here and stretch. Now put that line in." And he'd go, "Man," like, "You idiot. I just told you how to do it."
We had this kid come through. He was from Louisville, Arkansas. Louisville. I call him White Sauce Chris, but the kid could graffiti, and he could paint like a water paint, like old school tattoos, like some of the best shit I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But this fucking kid was retarded if you put a machine in his hand.
Yeah.
Holy fucking hell, man. Like, I tried to mentor this kid personally, and I wasn't even in the state to be doing that, but I could tattoo and he couldn't.
Right.
I'm like, dude, no, you're doing this shit fucked up.
Yeah.
And he just couldn't get it, man. And
I was
but he couldn't get it, and he couldn't handle the stress. You know what I mean? I don't know. Tattooing's not for everybody.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you end up being good or not. Tattooing's not for everybody.
Yeah. I do wonder the transit why you see such a popular transition from tattooing to knife making. There's several
bag fucking half criminals
that don't want to punch a clock and deal with people.
Yep. I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, why did I get into tattooing? Because they're a bunch of dirtbag half criminals, getting fucked up all day, skirting their taxes, banging girls, just doing ill shit. You know what I mean? It's the lifestyle. It's got to transition into something else.
Yeah.
And it's got to be creative.
Yeah. Yeah, Terry, that's where you and I are different. I can't draw for shit.
Demonic, exactly. It is more of a craft. Art does help. I had to learn. I can tattoo like a motherfucker, but learning to draw was a painful fucking process for me, man. I was never the kid that drew. Like, I
Well,
learned to tattoo for money.
how'd you come across your knife designs? Did you draw them on paper first?
Yep, I still do.
Because I don't.
And I only have that skill because of tattooing.
Yeah, I don't. I've literally got a straight edge and a 3-piece set of French curves, and I just sit down on a piece of steel with a Sharpie and draw it, look at it, kind of pick it up, see where my fingers are going to land. No, I don't like that. Wipe it off with alcohol, draw it again.
I still kind of do that sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes with my folder blades, if I want to make it slightly bigger or I want to put maybe more of a swedge on it, so I need a little taller, I'll just draw it out and just make it fit in the handle.
That's one thing I've learned too, though, that changing the size of a knife design is not as simple as putting it in the printer and shrinking it to 80%.
Right.
Everything changes when you change the size.
No, totally.
Scotching things knife, I want to make some more of those, but make them a little smaller because, in all honesty,
that's right, Palmer.
Scotch's knife is fucking ridiculous. But yeah, there are aspects that change just with that. You think, hey, I just wanted an inch shorter.
Well, Zach stuff kind of, the only unprofessional tattoo I have, I let an ex-girlfriend tattoo me while we were real fucked up one night.
Yeah. I never let anybody tattoo me like that. I used to have pictures where my wife drew she drew all the Squidbilly characters on my back with Sharpies.
I fucking love that show. I love everything about that fucking show, Shane. Like, God damn it.
Yeah. Brian, I get you, man. I understand you got a lot to do, buddy.
Yeah, it's all good, Brian. Dude, I have fucking so much to do, man. And between my birthday and my sister's wedding tomorrow, the last 4 days of my life have been totally hosed. I'm so fucked. I'll make it work, but God damn it.
Yeah, mine have been messed up. Friday night, I worked pretty late. And then yesterday, I legit slept. I slept the entire day, like the day on the calendar, 22 hours. Yeah, there's something wrong with. I don't understand it, dude. That I can go to sleep and sleep for that long. But I woke up feeling great today.
My brother could if he could allow it, like, socially and like responsibly. Yeah. My Ernie would sleep all the time.
But there's times, dude, that I'll go 3 days. You'll think I'm on meth because 2 or 3 days I won't sleep at all.
Right. Demonic, my fucking owner, he was the same way, man. Ain't shit coming. There was no bad shit coming out of the shop. And also, no, I didn't have to tattoo myself because my owner, even though he was like a 3rd-generation tattoo artist, like his dad and his grandpa used to tattoo in world fairs and shit. They both said that was fucking stupid.
Yeah.
So I never had to tattoo myself.
I didn't either. Everybody else at the shop had, they tattooed their legs.
And I'm not talking shit on you if you had to, Demonok, but I thought it was fucking stupid because I can get tattooed all day long, bro, but
I don't know that I could put
50% of the time, 4 minutes in, I turn gray and I'm like, y'all, I might pass out.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is, man. I don't mind getting tattooed. I'll lay there all day.
My old shop owner has probably still got video of me getting tattooed, dude.
But 50-50, I might pass out.
He's literally got his body weight on my arm holding it down, and the rest of me squirming like a child and gritting my teeth. And
see,
I don't think I could do that to myself.
It never bothered me, but it triggers that thing in me where I'm like, oh, God, I get tunnel vision. I'm like,
yeah.
I would just pass out. I'd start tattooing myself and be like, I'd start seasoning and shit.
Yeah. At the time, though, I worked outside a lot, so I had real leathery skin. So you had to really work my skin to get ink in. There's no way I could do that to myself. I could barely let somebody else do it. That's why I'm not as tattooed as most tattoo artists. Yeah, I've had people not get a tattoo from me because I didn't have enough tattoos myself.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I started getting tattooed heavy. Like, my second tattoo was the start of my whole left leg sleeve. Like,
yeah, I don't have any on my legs.
Really?
None. No.
What? It's like the best can, and they're so easy.
I know. Yeah, I don't really have that many. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I've only got 9.
I have 27 if you count my whole left leg and my whole left arm as one each.
Donnie, I got a coupon for buy a knife, get a free tattoo. I bet Donnie would be more willing to pay somebody else to tattoo you than to do it himself.
Oh, fuck, that's too good. That's too good.
I only like tattooing, young female skin because it takes ink so well.
Well, I mean, it's just females, but
yeah, I mean, the canvas is so much softer and so much more receptive to ink.
It really is.
Yeah. I hate it like when some big brawny biker dude comes in.
Demonox, that is fucking brutal.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That was his way to show me. Yeah. Yeah, that is pretty brutal, Demonox. Yeah. So what are you working on this week, Donnie?
Oh, man, I'm just still, well, right now I am almost done flattening the blades, pre-heat treat, and then I got to drill them and do the stop in track, and then I can heat treat them.
For anybody we know, is Scotch and things done?
No. His is in the. I'm basically working on his simultaneously with the whole West batch.
Gotcha.
Which, shout out to Scotch and things. He's being cool. Now I got a couple people on the books right now, and I warned them that once Blade Show West builds start happening, like my time frame is fucked for them. Like,
right.
They're gonna get taken care of, but I have to be able to take knives there and sell them. Otherwise, like I'm fucked.
You spent money to be there. You got
to. Yeah, like I have to sell, at least 3 or 4 knives to cover the whole just going there and the materials of building the stuff to go there.
And
so
not make any money.
Right. So I have to sell like 3 to 4 to just not make money.
Yeah.
I'm taking 6. And we'll see what happens.
I've been told that was a mistake of me doing my cost breakdown on a knife on Bob DeMarco. But I've always really been impressed with Brian. I didn't realize when he named his company Transparent Knives, I never put 2 and 2 together. I didn't know that you could go to his website and see the exact cost breakdown.
His name, I took his name literally the first time I ever saw it, and that's the only reason I started watching him. Yeah. And it's the only reason I still watch. Well, now we're friends, but.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. His transparency.
Because I was like, this motherfucker is all about not bullshitting.
Right. Yeah. His transparency and what you're paying for was very impressive to me. So that's why I talked about it today. Can those numbers move up or down a little bit from here? Yeah. I mean, if I ship 5 knives at one time, well, of course I didn't pay, $20 each, because they all went.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But
can move around a little bit, but
exactly.
But it's still, and I didn't say it to make anybody feel bad for me or any of that. I just right this minute I don't care that the profit
dudes. Yeah.
I thought he was a transparent. The Dr. Drew dude would drop a bomb every now and then, dude.
Well, that's kind of valid nowadays, eh?
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I don't regret doing that breakdown because right now it's really important to me.
And that shit'll change for any maker, any day.
It's still really important to me. I mean, it's also important for it not to cost me money to do it, but it's also really important to me to put knives in the hands of people I know. A sale to a total stranger wouldn't mean near as much to me. The fact that I'm making knives for people I know is kind of invaluable in all
honesty. Totally.
I really like that. And to go back to tattooing, it's kind of like tattooing a return customer. You start to value that as much as you do the money.
Well, especially a return customer that you like, or you don't even have to like them. You have to like what they're getting tattooed on them.
Right.
Yeah. I got a new tool today.
I hate that thing. I can't make it work.
A jimping file?
Yeah, it just
A checkering file?
I don't know. It looks like the exact same one I have, and it just like leaves.
It's a 20 line per inch. Grab
Yeah,
it, grub
yeah.
it,
And I
whatever.
tried it, and it doesn't do anything for me.
What are you?
Maybe
What the fuck are you doing?
I think what I'm doing is I'm not keeping the lines perfect every pass.
Oh yeah.
I'm
So
just kind of filing a dull spot in the spine with it.
no, fuck that. Set up like a plunge guide. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah, something for it to ride against.
Yeah, that's what I start mine with that, and as soon as I have the grooves like established, I'll just take it off because it kind of limits how far that side will go down because it wants to like press into itself.
Right.
So as soon as you get the grooves started like all the way across, then just pull that thing off and then just bust
I
that.
was really interested in that once you get those done, you can use those same grooves to move up and extend the jimping. You just have to get like one or two teeth in that last track. Yeah, I haven't gotten, but my hands don't. I don't want to keep using that as an excuse that my hands don't work very well. But
Well, I mean, it's not necessarily an excuse; it's real life, and you have to. But you have to adapt.
Exactly, that's what I meant.
Yeah,
just like running my belt backwards, I got to figure out a way to make that work.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Right now, I'm cool with the big jimps that are only going to work in a pair of leather gloves. In all honesty, in your bare hands, they probably aren't doing anything. Where those,
well, I mean, they help more than not being there.
Right. Where with those, those actually bite. I imagine if you ever slip on those jimps, it's going to hurt. You know what I mean? That it could probably, could probably tear your skin open.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, these things, they never come even on the ends.
Right.
So I always grind down until I have even triangles.
Yeah.
Because like on this side over here, it's like a half one.
Right.
So when you're using it, you end up with this weird little like half mark that you can't really fix.
Okay.
So I don't know. I don't know if they all come like that, but this is my first one, and they're all fucked.
My first attempt at that was at home. No vise, no table. I was trying to do it freehand. So that was probably a horrible idea. I need to give it another shot. Because I do want some.
Just starting with the file guide really helps me. Or put your knife in the vise and just use the vise edge to get your groove started, you know what I mean?
Right.
And then just take it out and
good idea. Yeah.
Because it doesn't cut on the side, so you're not gonna fuck your vise up or whatever.
Right. Well, I've got the same $20 Harbor Freight vise you've got. That little blue one.
Yo.
Wouldn't really matter if I did scratch the side of it up.
Yeah, you see me, I use it to test my fucking pry bars and shit.
Yeah, that's how when I knew how flexible these were, I clamped.
I've used National Machines Demon Eye.
I clamped this knife in that little blue vise to hold the blade. Now, I protected the blade, of course.
Right.
When I went to sanding it, I come under the bottom when I was sanding and realized that it was the whole handle was doing this.
Yep.
I really didn't realize how flexible that blade is. I mean, you can see it's 3/32, so it's not like it's super thin at the spine, but man, it gets so thin at the edge.
Yeah, and also for what was that 3.5 inch, 4-inch blade?
Yeah.
3.5. Yeah. That's pretty thin. It's like a kitchen knife. Yeah.
Right.
It's just good. Does it like distally taper?
Just a little from maybe right here out.
Oh, yeah.
Some discal because it's a Warncliffe, so I never have to kick the handle out. So, but it does still discal taper some.
I don't know why, but like
almost out, it gets thinner towards the
almost
tip.
all my fixed blades have a distal taper. Like I can't avoid it, but that doesn't happen when I grind.
I don't know how. I don't know
why it happens.
I don't know how to do it without creating a discal taper.
Yeah, because it's easy to keep that pressure on that front end.
Yeah.
And just drag it off the belt.
Yeah.
So you always end up thinner on the tip.
Right.
Chuckleheads.
Who called
we are some chuckleheads for sure, Palmer. I'll give that to you. Yeah.
I'm surprised Omega ain't in here tonight.
Demon Dog, now you're talking my language. National white, bro. The white titanium. That's the only white we would use, homie.
Still can't do it. Oh, there it went. And having your pointer finger fucked up.
Naval orange was good too, bro. What's that?
I was just saying, having your pointer fingers bandaged
So,
up screws up everything.
because you can't feel your fingers in the first place.
Right, that's how that happens.
I know.
When I'm
But
cutting
you
the
should.
steel, it gets hot, and I don't realize it. And I'll go to pick it up. By the time my brain registers, "Hey, dumbass, that's hot," it's over. I've already blistered and removed meat.
So check this out. When I'm making titanium clips for my knives, because they're so small and titanium heats up so easy, dude, that shit'll burn your shit fast. And the sparks catch and start burning really fast.
Yeah.
So I take strips of paper towel and I wrap my thumbs and my pointers, and then I do a layer of duct tape on each one. I basically make thimbles.
Right.
And I'll see the goddamn tape catch fire, but I'll keep my shit from burning.
Right. And this there's no excuse for.
Well, I'm just I got some of that shit going on.
Yeah,
too.
this is me bumping the 36 grit belt.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 36 will fucking bite you, homie.
Yeah, it'll take your skin off quickly. I got
For sure.
one over here and one. Yeah. There. How do you pick your? That's with my pinky fingers, costing things. That's how I pick my nose.
Demon Eye, it sure did kill. This shit was crazy though because it's just titanium oxide, man. Like you had to dip so often because it would just eat your fucking tubes, man. Like you would see your pigment turn gray from it eating your stainless tube from the friction.
The first time that happened to me, I freaked out, dude. I was doing I don't even remember what. It was something very small on this teenage girl's breast. And she wanted it white. And I warned her, about, because this was 19.
Joe Isabella know it is fucking
No, probably 2008. And there wasn't a whole lot of great white out there to begin with. And it was hard to get it in solid and get it to stay. And I'd warned her about that. But then, like halfway through the tattoo, it turned gray. And dude, I freaked out because she's stuck with it now. It's half white and half gray. Couldn't figure out where the gray came from. It was metallic dust from my tube where that wearing the tube. Yeah. She wasn't upset about it, but I was. I mean, I wanted it to be perfectly white, but it was not.
So I never got into like the disposable tubes and all that shit because they kind of suck. But I would use one for white all the time. Like I would pull one out just to do the white in a tattoo because that wouldn't happen.
You know what I did, dude, was I started doing them in 2 steps. If they wanted any white,
Demon Eye, totally. Like I said, just rinsing. You just had to be conscious of it, and you'd be fine. But if you weren't, it would fuck you up real fast.
Yeah, I wasn't conscious of it. What I started doing after that, too, was I learned that when you touched white, if you happen to run into like a black line, it would turn gray too because that ink is still wet under the skin. So I started. It was mandatory. If I was putting any white in your tattoo, it was 3 weeks later. Like I do the tattoo, come back in 3 weeks, I'll do the white.
I mean, and that's fine. And that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with doing it that way.
Right.
I mean, there's nowadays, fucking foo-foo artists, they'll lay down the black, they'll lay down the lines, you gotta wait 3 months. They'll lay down the black, you gotta wait 3 months. You know what I mean?
Lemmy, that is a bold-faced lie because my pull-out game is weak.
Hell yeah, it is mine too, bro. I don't have no kids that I know about though.
That did not happen. Yeah. Oh man.
I probably have a kid somewhere though.
Probably so.
Why do you hate your fingers so much? What do you mean? Oh, why do I hate my fingers? Because now they look like shit from fucking making knives. You can't see it on this goddamn camera, but I used to be a goddamn hand model, all right? I had sexy fucking hands, okay? And now they suck.
Yeah. Let me tell you what sucks the most about this. I can't use the fingerprint scanner on my phone.
I bet, yeah.
Now when I go to pay for...
Dude, I can't even do it just because of my calluses.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to change it to a different finger because apparently I'm never gonna be able to use this one. So I have to type in the code every time I open my phone now.
Right.
Josh Branson.
Knives to
Josh, you never know where things are gonna lead on here.
That's right.
It's kind of
Especially with us two degenerate bastards.
it's kind of a mess, in all honesty. Oh man.
I'm surprised y'all are even
Not as big a mess.
tuned in.
Not as big a mess as the mess that you created on said faction, though. So I don't hear no shit from you of all people. I know I have a jitterbug, Kyle. I have the free Samsung whatever from Cricket.
I don't use the fingerprint scanner at all. Not that they don't already have them, but I just don't use it.
Yeah. Well, Gary, the reason I don't use the face scanner is because that's one of the first thing cops do when they arrest you is they'll point your phone at your face so that they can open it and get access to your phone. Now, they could do the same thing with my fingerprint, but I can fight that. You know.
That's why I break my shit if I get pulled over like that.
Yeah.
I'll break my fucking
Not
phone.
that I do anything to give them a reason to want to be in my phone, but fuck them. That's
what. But fuck them, exactly.
No, you're not getting in my phone. Because I've seen it. I've seen it happen on YouTube videos. They'll pull somebody over and be like, unlock your phone. They're like, no. And they'll just hold it in front of them.
Yo.
And they go through like, oh, yeah, what is this guy that wants $50 worth? And this guy that wants a quarter ounce? And this guy, you know, I don't do any of that, but.
It is all about the layers, homie.
Yeah. I just don't want to make it that easy.
Right. Yeah.
At least with that top-in code.
Fucking forever, but.
Yeah, at least with that top-in code, you know, they got. Of course, I know like the FBI can unlock it and stuff, but it is surprising how many phones they've conveniently been unable to unlock.
Yeah,
like if it's somebody they don't want to put in prison, oh, we can't unlock his phone. Bullshit. I got a buddy right now that's a retired FBI, and I was talking to him about a case that a friend of mine was involved in, and I thought it was bullshit. And he's like, well, Shane, the way you're explaining it sounds like bullshit, but let me tell you something. We can see every single keystroke. We can go back to the beginning of cell phones and see everything you've ever typed into that phone. So, you know, you can't claim that it was hacked or whatever. We can legit record every keystroke. So. Exactly, Brian. I mean, who wants their anime history just being scrolled through by the average patrol officer? Not me. Yeah. Even though I will admit, Brian, the only anime I've ever looked at was I discovered a few months ago that there's anime of the or hentai, whatever you want to call it, of the Borderlands characters. I thought that was pretty cool. That's actually how Palmer and I became friends when I mentioned it. But I didn't know Palmer was underage at the time, so sorry. Oh, Crispy Critter in here? Yeah, there he is. Good deal. You ever watch Family Guy porn? Pretty fun. I've never watched it, but I've scrolled past it. I'll say that.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we've all seen a little Family Guy porn advertisement while scrolling through the
advertisement. All right.
Yeah. Or what is that called? What is that called? Like, you know, when I put the picture of my YouTube video. What is that called?
I don't know what you're fucking talking about.
Like when you post a YouTube video and you put a picture up.
Yeah.
You know, for the advertisement. What is that called?
I don't know what you're saying to me right now.
All right, if you make a YouTube video, you can upload an image to represent that video, so when people are scrolling through YouTube, they see that image.
Okay.
Thumbnail. That's it. Gary got
All
it.
right. There we go. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
I've seen some Family Guy thumbnails. I'll put it that way. Yeah, Marco. They're both bandaged up. Same night. Like I burnt both of them within 2 minutes of each other.
1931. No, I am drinking a Founders Centennial IPA.
I'm not an IPA fan.
Is it too bitter for you?
Yeah, I just kind of like, Coors Light or actually
Coors Light is weak.
I know, but actually my favorite beers are Belgian Wits.
This is 7.5. This is good beer.
And the reason I like the Belgian Wits is because I used to have this issue.
No, Belgian beers are good.
Yeah, when I go to the bar and I start ordering beers, sometimes like 2, maybe 3 beers in, I get really bad indigestion.
Oh, okay.
The bartender's like, you should try a Belgian Wit. I was like, I don't know what that is, but give me one. And it's all I drank for years because I can drink 40 of them and not get indigestion.
Oh, nice.
I still would prefer the taste of cheap light beer, to be honest. I know that's lame, but I do.
1931, that's fucked up. I wish I was that close to him. Fuck. Yeah, the breakfast stout B&A. Dude, me and my homie Lee, when I was like super partying, we bought 2 cases of that shit. Bro. It's rough.
Yeah. Yes. So legit, Blue Moon legit saved my drinking career because it didn't give me an Blue Moon draft, not in a bottle. Had to be draft.
I mean, I get it. Blue Moon, it's got a little flavor, kind of has some citrus going on, a little vanilla in it, little nutmeg notes.
It used to be a microbrewery. I mean, they used to only make it at Coors Field.
I know. I get why people like it, but it's just like, it's because I'm a snob of my beer. Like, I am with my coffee, man. Like,
yeah.
I'm just a connoisseur of the beers, man.
Yeah, you got that champagne taste and that light beer budget.
You goddamn right. That's right.
Yeah. There is a wit beer that I like better than Blue Moon, and I can't remember what it's called. It's pretty popular. It's got a mohawk dude on the bottle.
Sounds familiar.
Looks like an Indian with a big red mohawk. But it's a wet beer that's pretty good. Pretty fire, you're damn right. Blue Moon does go great with Caesar salad. It sure does. Shock Top. That's it, Terry. Terry's on it tonight, man.
Oh, Shock Top. Yeah, I remember that. It's not terrible. Heffenweisen, that's not bad.
Yeah. Chimay is potent AF. I don't know what that is.
It is. It is. Yeah.
Hefeweizen, my favorite in summer. Used to be a beer here that got pretty popular in the summertime. Was it Lining Kugels? It tastes kind of like Fruity Pebbles.
Well, they have a bunch of beers, man. Their stout is actually really fucking good, and they also have a summer shandy that's really
good. Summer
shandy
is the one that tastes like Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah, no, it's a good beer.
Yeah, I don't like any stout.
Oh man, I like some gnarly fucking stouts, man. Like Old Rasputin.
Well, John and I went to a place in Huntsville and we got a couple of stouts, but they were like
Samuel Smith's the Raz.
They were like a peppermint coffee flavor, and it wasn't something I could even imagine.
That sounds fucked up.
I couldn't imagine drinking enough of it to get drunk.
Right.
For just sitting around and drinking a couple of beers and going home, it was really good, but it was really rich, almost kind of thick.
Okay.
It looked like coffee, dude. It was black.
Oh shit! All right.
It was something out of Kentucky. I can't remember the name of it now. But yeah, it was pretty good stuff.
Dogfish Head makes good beer. Yep.
Yeah. I say that. I drank maybe. Man, I bet I hadn't drank 12 beers since this time last year. I just rarely ever. I used to drink every day. Like when me and Meathead were building dune buggies and rock crawlers and all that kind of stuff, we drank, half case to a case every night of the week. And I didn't have like some epiphany or an intervention. Just one day I was like, I don't want a beer today. And that
No,
led
man, I feel you. So I drink, I'd say on average, 3 to 6 beers a day.
yeah.
And I really don't even drink any more than that. I literally drink like 6 is the most I ever drink.
Oh, I drank 4 here a while back and was ready to flirt or fight, one of the two, dude. I was in rare form of 4
Always.
years. Yeah.
But I stopped doing drugs, so I'm like, oh, I'm only having 3 or 6 beers. That's better than doing 10 beers with cocaine and with Vicodin and with fucking whatever else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Gary
So I'm
said
like, I'm fine.
Gary said he prefers hard liquor. I sip a little bourbon every now and then, but I've never drank enough bourbon to get drunk.
I can't fuck with anything whiskey related.
Yeah.
I like tequila. I like gin. I like rum.
You ever drink a gimlet?
Gimlet? Yeah, I've had a gimlet. Yeah,
That is the best drink in the world in the heat
it's
of
not
summer.
bad. It's not terrible.
Like in the heat of the summertime, dude, all it is a shot of gin, a shot of Rose's lime juice, and then top it off with soda water.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
so refreshing, dude.
Yeah.
I love the
Yeah, I kind of like gin, man, and it also depends on the gin, but
yeah.
Matt, yep, it's definitely healthier than crystal meth.
Absolutely, it is. Absolutely, it is. Yeah. I can't drink alcohol. I can't stand alcohol without copious amounts of nachos.
Nice.
In all honesty, my favorite thing to drink, though, is kind of girly. But, dude, I love a good margarita on the rocks with just crusted salt around the rim. And I turn it every sip so I get salt with every drink. I love that shit.
I will one up you because my favorite bar drink is top shelf margarita because I want Grand Marnier and fucking good tequila instead of triple sec and bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I only take it with sugar on the fucking rim.
I've tried it. It's okay, but I prefer
and I have to have grenadine in it so it turns pink.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah,
we were at a bar one night, and I had a date and everything, dude. It was me and the whole tattoo crew was there.
That's never a good idea.
Yeah, and I was
a good idea.
I was pretty intoxicated, and but I was that intoxicated where I'm in a really good mood, but I'm also, try me, motherfucker. That
you're still charming. Yeah.
And I was sitting there talking on the screen. I look down, and I see these two. I know they're top shelf margaritas because this is my bar, and I know what glass those come in. We'll skip ahead a few minutes. This guy, I wouldn't say we're friends, but we know each other. He comes up, dude, and his margaritas are empty. And Donnie, he immediately gets in my face, cussing me for drinking his margaritas. And I'm like, dude, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, dude. Get out of my face, And I thought we were going to have to fight over it. I mean, we drew a crowd. Everybody's because they knew I would have trashed this dude, man. There's no doubt in my mind.
Nice.
And I really didn't want to. So finally, when they get it broke up and they get him away from me, I'm like, I can't believe that dude had the gall to assume that I drink his margaritas. And I was like, Shane, you still have the salt all over your lip. I'm standing there telling this dude, I didn't drink your fucking margarita. I've got the salt all over my. I had no idea.
That's so good.
So I went back the next night and I replaced him. I bought him 2 top shelf margaritas. But he was there on a date. And unfortunately, I demasculated him in front of her. So the date went horribly. And so I never could pay him back for that. But I did. I'm not typically a thief. I just, I was thirsty, man. There's 2 top shelf.
Fucking A, man. You need that drink.
Yeah.
I feel you, man. Pretty fly. That's right. Everything is fair game on cocaine.
Yeah. Because my roommate, dude, we hung out all the time, but that dude never had my back. Like, he constantly called me on my bullshit. He's standing there cussing me out for drinking that guy's margarita. And once again, I was offended that my buddy is accusing me of it. But everybody knew I did because my mustache was full of salt.
Still, though, like, I don't care. If I was there, I'd have been like, I didn't see him drink that motherfucker.
Right.
That salt, I put that there.
Oh, no, this dude took my current wife before we were married to lunch and told her to leave me alone.
Damn.
Told her I was the biggest mistake she would ever make. and that I didn't even know what I wanted, and she should just stop communicating with me altogether.
When you found out he said that to her, where you were like, yeah, like she already knows that.
No, I didn't say anything to him because
I know, I'm just kidding, but
yeah.
like your wife didn't know, like your lady doesn't know what she was getting into.
Right, but
Yeah.
it was weird though because it like triggered something in her, and she was all about it after that.
Yeah.
Like she was kind of iffy about us being in a relationship because I kind of wanted it first because she was the first decent girl I'd probably ever dated.
Sure.
But she
I
was,
don't know if I've ever dated a decent girl.
she was, and in all honesty, she should have been. She was very suspicious and cautious of me.
Exactly.
Told her
Yeah,
that.
she ain't wrong for it. Yeah.
After he told her that, she was all about it then. Like, okay.
Nice.
Yeah. And he takes credit for us being married. He's like, y'all wouldn't be married if it wasn't for me. I was like, motherfucker, you tried to talk her into ghosting me. I worked with a guy who smoked parliaments just because they had recessed filters.
Just read
He
that.
packed them all with cocaine so he could do a bump every time he had to smoke. That's my kind of dude.
That is so fucking genius. I used to smoke those back in the day when we were partying every once in a while, and I would have never thought to do that. That's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I'm now sad that I don't do cocaine now, so I can't load my Parliament recessed filters with cocaine.
Right. I'm just glad I didn't like it.
What's that?
Cocaine.
So I was always like, I don't know. All drugs have always been weird for me, man. Like, I've done a ton of drugs, man. I've never really like loved anything, even if I've done it a bunch. Like the only thing I ever really did a lot was fucking painkillers because they're like, they put you down. I like downers, you know what I mean?
Right.
But I don't know. Nothing really ever grabbed me like that where I was like, oh man, I gotta do it again. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Well, the only reason I did it as many times
I've done a lot of fucking drugs though.
The only reason I ever did it as many times as I did because I kept telling people, I was like, man, I tried that, it didn't do nothing for me. And they're like, oh, dude, that shit wasn't no good. Try this. And it was always the same effect. Nothing.
Yeah.
We think that grind, don't you?
Yeah, I know all kinds of shit. I like it, dude. All full, flat, super thin, and it looks good, man.
You don't like it because there's grind lines in it, though.
Well, I mean, there's grind lines in my stuff.
I know how you are about refining them grind lines.
But that's how I am about my own shit, though.
Right. Dude, I finally ordered in the entire set of Scotch-Brite finishing belts.
Yeah.
All I had was the Ultra Fine. And I guess I knew, but I didn't put two and two together that Ultra Fine belt can't really do its job if you haven't progressed through the other belts. So
or at least progress through some grits.
Right. Yeah, because I was going straight from 36 grit to an Ultra Fine finishing. And all I was wanting to do
that depends on what you want for a finish, though.
Right. I enjoyed that finish where you can see
that's what I'm saying.
But they're just not as rough, as texturous. But now that I've got all three of them, I don't even go to the Ultra Fine anymore. The medium looks really good.
Nice.
It still has a little bit more of a gray look to it. It's not quite as, it doesn't have quite as much sheen.
Right.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what I can do when I have everything I need. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
When I actually acquire all the stuff that I really need, I can't imagine what I'll be able to do. All I want right now, dude, is something that will cut my finger troll in for me. I hate having to sit there with a cutting disc and make 10 to 12 little cuts and then cut those out and then go in with a grinder and try to smooth it up. I don't have anything that'll cut it.
I'd say either get a die grinder or a fucking.
Well, see, I've got a 1x30 that I'm not using, and I'm thinking about if I have to make it myself, but making like a 3/4 inch wheel and replace that top wheel on my 1x30.
Yeah, man, just make it a dedicated choil thing.
Yeah, because I don't use it at all now.
Why not? And all you're gonna do, you're gonna rough it in. You're gonna clean it up later anyway.
Right.
Yeah, dude. Fuck it. That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah. Eminem, that's exactly right there. But then I wonder how much money do I invest to be able to do that if I would like to get a couple of models where I can just have them water jet? Then I don't need any of that anymore.
Yeah,
All I
you'll need something else though.
exactly that's what he's saying. I'll find something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've got like one of those little 1 by or 1/2 by 12 grinders. It's oblong. It
Yeah.
will cut a finger troll, but it's not that it's slow. It's that because it's like a pistol grip, it's hard to hold it in that one spot. It wants
Yeah,
to
to like,
jump around.
yeah.
Yeah.
Demonite, that shit is wild. My old best friend, he's not my friend anymore, but that dude used to dose everybody without them knowing. And dude, fuck, good times.
I'm sure Kyle Coonley is being a smartass here. It's very rare
Well, I'm sure.
that Kyle has something positive to say. He probably told me to do that a long time ago and I didn't listen. That's probably his point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have pills. I was taking 3 pills just to get going. Wow. I've never taken any Adderalls, so
I don't like them, man. Adderall makes me feel weird as fuck.
that's because it's not a downer.
I know, I don't like it.
It's the opposite of what you're looking for.
Yeah, I don't like it at all. And Coke isn't like, people call it an upper, but it's more of a stimulant.
Yeah.
And Coke, like I like doing Coke, but it just kind of made me like disassociative.
I couldn't do that.
I basically I'm like the vampire in the corner. I'm like,
Dude, when I'm in a bar, I got to talk to everybody. Sometimes it gets me a piece of ass, sometimes it gets me in a fight, whatever. But I've got to talk to everybody. But I'm always nice. But there's always that one guy that you try to, hey man, what's up?
right.
He wants to start shit for no reason. But
Yeah, that's why I stopped going to bars.
I used to love it. I ain't gonna lie.
No, I fucking love going to the bar, and I used to love fighting motherfuckers, but
I love a social setting.
it's no good. So do I. I mean, so do I. I have no problem with people. Well, I hate people,
Right.
but I like being social. I'm a fucking clown, man. It's not my fault.
Right. Yeah. What's up, Empty? How you doing, man?
Empty? I've never seen them.
Empty is
Palmer, exactly. 14 minutes, and then you're like,
I don't know. He may visit other knife channels, but I met Empty through the SOE channel.
all right.
That's special.
I'm not like grilling you about it. I was just like, oh shit.
I know.
I've never seen that.
I'm just saying, because people see somebody new in here, they wonder. I don't even know how into knives Empty actually is, but
Pretty fly saying.
I'm always grateful that he shows up. Because I don't think he's a knife nerd by any means. But
oh shit! I hope he can handle fucking jackasses.
Oh, he watches John Willis nearly every night. He can handle an asshole.
I don't know who that is.
The guy that owns SOE. I love him to death, but he's a real.
I'm just like basically learning of who that is from you talking about him and some belts and shit.
Yeah. It was Scotch and things that kind of entered. Well, it's weird how that happened. Scotch.
I think it was that was the video I watched. It was you and Scotch, maybe.
Yeah, Scotch gave me a EDC belt. I didn't realize it was $125.
Yeah, that's the video I'm thinking of.
Yeah, and then I discovered. Well, in all actuality, I discovered him because Jared Neves mentioned him to me.
All right.
So I went and checked him out. Now, I don't think Jared's been in there ever since, and that's fine. But I went and checked him out.
He's too important.
Yeah. Well, he probably just realized that the guy didn't have anything to offer him.
I'm just talking shit.
Oh, no, you're 100% right. And yeah. And Empty mentioned Ridge Runner Blades. Ridge Runner Blades is a knife store. And I would I wouldn't care, dude, if it was 2 or 3 knives and done. I'd love to have some of my stuff at Ridge Runner, but no, John would not put up with that shit. John don't put up with any shit. Yeah.
Sounds like my kind of guy.
Yeah. Well, he was big buddies with Empty. What's his name? James. I mean, this guy's world renowned for like tactical training. He's passed away now.
James, a tactical response.
James. God, what was James's last name? Yeager. That's it, James Yeager. Yeah, he had done a video. I think James was in his 50s when he was planning to go to Ukraine and fight the communism over there, but he ended up dying of ALS, maybe? I'm not positive.
Man, that sucks.
Well, there's some of the best war fighters of all time have been trained by James Yeager. Yeah. Give me that blade again. I just want to see the tip. Okay. So the tip's not broke.
No.
You just ended it should have some strength, right?
Well, I mean, I literally just did it for style, but yeah, it does work for that as well.
Yeah, because I love those needle points on a Warncliffe, but man, they're
not.
But
I break that shit fast, man.
Yeah, I dropped one of these from 5 feet onto the concrete and it snapped right off.
Well, yeah, as it should with that thin.
But then again, though, dude, how long has Spyderco been selling the Yojimbo and Yojumbo? Those tips will break off if you give any side load.
I broke the tip off my custom Gavco because it hit my ashtray.
Yeah. Empty, I didn't know he actually went. So he went over there and trained some guys, I guess, in Ukraine.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, James Yeager is a badass. That's who talked John into moving to Tennessee when he got out of prison. But apparently there was some, I don't know the whole story, dude. I know John's told it several times, but there was some, from what I understand, some firearms that were owned by Dev Crew, by the Navy SEALs. They accused him of having some of them. I don't know the truth of the whole situation, but he went to federal prison over it. And everybody that I know that knows him says the only reason he went to prison is because he wouldn't rat.
I mean, that makes more sense.
Right. He wasn't willing to rat, so yeah. But if you want some fucking nylon tactical gear and you want the best in the world, that's the place to go get it.
Word. Yeah, man. I don't give a shit about any of that. The system is the system, man. That shit is built to be fucked up.
Yeah.
So I got nothing to say about that, man, on that. Like, that's the system. I don't care about that bullshit.
Right. Yeah, I don't judge anybody by their past. Dude, I've seen it too many times. Now, I know there's been plenty of people that went to prison for shit they deserved.
No Fuck yeah, for sure. But on the other hand, plenty of not, you know?
Yeah. I've seen some people just absolutely fucking railroad. I have a friend. We dated when she was much younger. She's now married and has a child. Her little boy's 3 years old. He was in the bathtub one night, and he got out of the tub and came running through the living room, laughing and throwing his hands up in there, and she recorded him.
Yeah.
As he ran through the living room. Now, he was butt naked, but she blurred out his butt cheeks.
Okay.
They kicked her door in and arrested her for producing child pornography.
What?
She lost her teaching license over it.
I got friends that post those kind of pictures right now.
Exactly.
What the fuck? That's just being a parent, man. I can show you 1,000 Polaroids of my naked ass running through the front yard or sitting in the bathtub or some weird shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, she to this day, she went to college to be a teacher. She can no longer teach.
That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah. And it wasn't the local police. It's the fucking FBI. Somebody reported her online. The FBI kicked her fucking door in and drug her and her husband off to prison. And he had a small personal use amount of marijuana in the house. So now, they're
like this small or
they didn't say exactly.
I'm just kidding.
But so now, they're both child pornography producers and
that's fucked up, man.
And drug users, and her reputation was destroyed over it.
Yeah, no, that's totally fucked up.
Yeah. Yep. But yet, there's a woman sitting in prison right now for trafficking minors to absolutely no one.
Hmm.
How does a gazelle go to prison for trafficking minors if she trafficked them to no one? How has no one been charged with receiving these trafficked children.
Hooray for the system, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Something's just, and it's weird to me, dude, how we just don't question any of it.
I mean, plenty of us do, but not enough of us do.
Yeah. It's funny to me that we don't question, the hundreds to thousands of Africans that died because they used experimental vaccines on them that Fauci created. There was no liability for that, for all those people he killed. And then he comes out with this. This probably gonna get my channel shut down, but then he comes out with this pokey that we're all supposed to take or lose our jobs or whatever over. It's just crazy to me, man. Has anybody been in prison for that all that shit that went on in Tuskegee, them giving all those black men the syphilis? Nobody's gone to prison for that.
They ain't never going to.
No. It just don't make any sense, man.
Yeah, exactly, Matt, because they're rich fucks.
Yeah.
It's just control. Why do you think motherfuckers are doing life for weed? Life for weed.
If you have not looked into this case right here, and that doesn't piss you off, there is something wrong. You live in the wrong country if you've not looked into this case and gotten pissed about it. That was complete. He literally made a little sheet metal card that had a design carved into it. It wasn't cut out. You'd have to cut it out yourself.
And was it for the auto switch on a Glock?
No, he called it the auto card, and it resembled a fully automatic sear to drop in an AR-15.
Oh, for an AR, yeah, okay.
He sent it to the ATF and said, "Hey guys, is this okay?" And they were like, "Yeah, nothing wrong with that." And then they arrested him for it. They took one of the cards, they finished cutting it out, dropped it in an AR-15. The gun wouldn't even function. Wouldn't even shoot. That dude's in prison right now for producing machine guns.
Damn the man, save the empire.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. The system itself is totally hosed.
Right.
Hosed.
Now, is he kind of a redneck goon? Sure he is. Did he put up a billboard in front of the ATF office advertising his card to be an asshole? Sure he did. But he doesn't.
Yeah, but still,
he doesn't deserve to be in federal prison, especially after they approved it.
That's freedom of speech, man. Billboards are freedom of speech.
Right. That's like this whole Moonlight Industries guy on Instagram that's blown up now. He was nobody 6 months ago.
Who?
Very few people had ever heard of him. And he put Moonlight Industries. He posted a video of the ATF coming to his house asking about some binary triggers. And they're like, well, you're going to need a warrant. And they're like, well, look, we're just saying if you hand them over now, it's no big deal. But when we make it illegal, then, you could be charged. He's like, you're going to need a warrant. And they went away. When he didn't back down, they went away.
Right.
And, now, of course, it's all been deemed legal anyway. But, yeah, something just bad wrong when you have branches of the government like that making laws and putting people in prison for it. When Congress didn't pass that law, they just decided, hey, this is the new rule, and we're going to fucking ruin people's lives over it. Yeah. I found my favorite utility knife, though, also. Well, good for you, Palmer. Is it a fucking Milwaukee Fastback? Look at that nook. And you're 100% right, Donnie. Those are novelty items. Don't you dare ever punch anybody with that.
Dude, bro, I've been in fights. I would never fucking hit anybody with this fucking thing, man.
Those things will break your fingers in a second.
So hard.
You might as well put it in a car door and let your buddy slam it as hard as he can.
Yeah, the only thing I'm holding in my hand is either a proper pair of knucks or fucking just a fist packer.
A roll of dimes.
Yep.
Do just fine. Still probably going to break your hand.
And you look I've never hit anybody with something like that. But
we've all thought about it. We've all held some thought, man.
I've definitely thought about it a couple times. I went and kind of played Captain Save-A-Ho once a while back. I'll make this short. Showed up because the dude, like the boyfriend, was trashing her apartment, and it was my homegirl. So I showed up and I was like, hopped out of the car. He had already like broke the window and thrown some shit out the house. I was like, I should probably have something, you know.
Yeah.
I had nothing in my car. I had no knife, no nothing, you know. I was like, oh, I do have a 3/4 inch shackle. So I grabbed the bolt out of that, and I
Yeah.
was gonna use it as like a fist packer, you know, or even ding him with the, you know, with the loop side, you know.
Right.
But it didn't come to that, thankfully.
Yeah. We
But
got
I would, if that dude didn't walk off, I'd have fucked that dude up, man.
we got ourselves. I say we talking about our tattoo crew. I get a text one night, and it's a group text to about 8 of us. Some that worked at the shop, and some that were just like very close friends of the crew.
Stevie, we could start like we could have a fight, dude, fight night, man. You versus Maddie, man. We'll all take bets.
So we get a text from the shop owner informing us that his daughter has texted him saying that her new stepdad is being mean to her.
Uh-oh.
So we all head over there because we all, this is all of our kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do know what you mean, man. We got little
so
girl
we all
Ivy,
go up, and it got way out of hand. We come out the door. The little girl's dad, he knocked him out cold with the first punch. So he was unconscious, and everybody kind of took turns kicking him in the ribs. But it went as far as a dude like putting his cigarette out in his face, and
that's a little much.
And then before it was over, he didn't have any teeth, and
like, how was he raping her? Jesus Christ!
To this day, I don't know.
I mean, again, I would allow that depending on what his actions were. But if he was just being a cocksucker,
if he just said something mean and made that little girl cry, that was good enough for us.
Yeah, it's a little much at that point, but
luckily,
I've been in fights that have gone overboard for sure, but maybe not that overboard.
Luckily, nobody went to prison, but we all did have to chip in on a $12,000 dental bill.
Hey, that's easy way out though, man. Fuck it, you got off light.
Yeah, and to be honest, man, I understood why he texted us because I didn't think Jeremy had a chance.
It's farter, not a fight.
This dude was kind of jacked, but one right hand, he went out like a fucking light, dude.
Hey man, that's all it takes sometimes, bro. Yeah. When I was young, like high school, dude, I won a fight by headbutting a dude in the chest once. He couldn't fucking breathe for like a minute, dude. He was like,
dude. The most embarrassing moment in my school career happened in 8th grade. So my last year in middle school, I had this buddy named Michael Cash. Michael Cash was he was quarter Japanese. He was every bit of 5'1" and 118 pounds. Yeah. This kid was tiny.
Just a small little man. Yeah.
But he was my homeboy, man. Like, he'd spend half the summer at my house, wouldn't even go home for weeks at a time. I was walking down the hall one day, and I had like an armful of books in each hand. And Michael sees me as I'm walking up, and he comes up and grabs me by the nipples, dude.
What?
And twists them about 180 degrees in opposite directions and literally puts me on my knees in tears. And my nipples have been erect to this day.
Oh, you liked him.
No, I did not.
You liked him.
If it'd been anybody else, dude, I'd have beat their ass. And I started to beat his ass, but I refrained, and yeah.
This is some like Freud shit here.
Yeah. It was horrible. And I think just the thought of that little 115-pound guy putting me on my knees in front of everybody, man, I've never been headbutted.
Never been headbutted?
Headbutted anybody? I've never been headbutted.
I fucking love the headbutt, man. It's so good.
I don't think I'm quick enough to lunge in. I don't know.
You're also tall, though.
Yeah.
And most of the dudes I've ever fought in my life, I mean, most of them have been taller than me, but not a lot taller than me,
Right. I'll tell you right now, dude, I'd much rather fight a guy my size than somebody like you.
Yeah.
Always have a rough time with little quick guys, man.
Dude, one of my oldest friends, my buddy Elliot, he's like the dude you just saw. He's a white kid, but he's like 5 foot tall. I will never ever fight that kid.
Yeah.
I've seen that kid fight a bunch, and that kid used to have to fight his dad.
Yeah. Dude, have
Like-
you ever? I'm sure you have. But you watched Good Will Hunting, right?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
You remember that scene, dude, when he's telling? It's hard for me to talk about it because I almost tear up talking about it. But when he's talking to Robin Williams, and he talks about how his dad used to come in and hand him a belt or a pipe wrench and ask him what he wanted.
Yeah.
Robin Williams was like, "Well, that's an easy answer, the belt." And he's like, "No, I always chose the pipe wrench." And he's like, "Why?" He said, "Because fuck him. That's why."
Because fuck
Dude,
him. Yep.
That is hands down one of the best lines ever written in any movie of all time.
Dude, that was my buddy Elliot, man. The day his dad stopped fucking with him, my buddy Elliot hit him with a brick. And it sounds funny as fuck, but that shit is not funny.
Yeah, it's not. But yeah. But I grew up with a really abusive dad, so that really.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll never forget, dude. I've only told a few people this story, but my dad was an asshole to begin with, and a fucking he was a monster. He's the worst type of human being.
Yeah, I've heard you talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, but I was adopted, so he never really cared for me much. And he came home one day and woke me up and told me to go clean the yard so he could mow it. Now, even at that age, at probably 9, I understood what that meant. I understood that meant that lawnmower better not make a fucking sound. You know what I'm saying? It better not hit a pine cone.
Right.
So I spent like an hour and a half, dude, just doing the military
scanning that motherfucker.
Yeah. I get as clean as I can get it. But when we moved into that house, he walked me over across the front yard to close to where the road was. There was a ditch between the house and the road, like most rural houses. He said, "You see that ditch, boy?" That's all they ever called me was boy. I was like, "Yes, sir." He said, "You ever go in that ditch, I'll beat your ass. You understand me?" I was like, "Yes, sir." So fast forward to this day, I come in, I'm like, "Dad, the yard's ready." He's like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm sure." All right. So he goes mowing it. I'm sitting there eating a bowl of fucking Fruit Loops, dude, watching cartoons. And because it's Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And I hear that lawnmower go, dude, I literally just froze, dude.
I bet.
I knew what was going to. He come in the house with this mangled up ass coat hanger.
Damn, a coat hanger?
Beat deep. Not just a coat hanger, one he had just unraveled from a lawnmower blade.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And just beat me to a bloody pulp with it. But I won't ever forget, dude, the feeling like halfway through that beating, it was like the weight of the world lifted off of me, dude.
Yeah.
It was like, this guy's just a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'm never going to please him.
Nope.
So I don't have to worry about it anymore. So I just laid there and it's the first time I ever questioned a beating. I knew better because I knew I was going to get, and I did. But dude, I couldn't help myself. I was like, "Where'd you find that coat hanger?" And he said, "In the ditch." And I was like, "Fuck yeah."
Fuck yeah. Yeah. Like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. And from that day forward, I never cared. Got many more beatings after that, and just gave zero fucks from that day on. Because he proved to me that it didn't matter what I did, how good I was, it was never going to be good enough. Just any excuse, to inflict pain on me. So that's why that movie meant a lot to me, though. It was pretty powerful shit.
It was a good movie too.
And it did kind of ruin me as a parent, dude. I was way too lenient on my kids. I was their buddy, I was also, because he was such a predator, I was also very protective over my girls. Anybody that wanted to spend the night with it happened at my house. They ain't going no fucking where. I ain't trust them.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Everybody in Gadsden, Alabama at one point in time thought my dad was just the ultimate man's man. He worked hard. Everybody loved him. Meanwhile, he's snatching the innocence out of every little girl he comes across. And yeah, he was just a monster, dude.
Yeah.
What's up, DH? How you doing, bud? I'm pretty sure DH is over here from the SOE family as well.
Oh, shit. What up?
He messaged me recently, interested in a knife. That'd be awesome.
One moon. That's awesome.
Yeah. Sorry, I got a little off track. But it is good that I can, like, there was a point just a couple of years ago I couldn't tell that story without squalling,
I mean, as cliche as it sounds, it's good to talk about the shit, man.
It is. Sometimes it is, yeah. Yeah.
Mexican Midget in high school. I love it, Sharp Guy. I bet though, I'm telling you, little dudes can't fuck with them, man. I'm not a big man, but like little dudes, they scrap.
Yeah. He stayed too close to punch. Yeah, had to suplex and get him off of me. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, we got a guy here in town, Justin Gillen. He's probably 145 pounds. And that dude just has an absolute devastating left hook, dude. I have seen him wreck people twice his size. Like, I was coming in the bar one night. Yeah, I was coming in. And I'm at the back of the building. And him and another buddy of mine come flying past me. And then when I get to the front of the bar, dude, the whole sidewalk is covered in blood. I mean, it looked like somebody had been gutted. And so I immediately called my buddy. I was like, what did y'all do? He's like, dude, Justin just hit that dude one time. I was like, left hook? And he's like, yep, left hook.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And if you saw him, dude, you wouldn't think twice about starting a fight with this kid.
Yeah.
Just not even redneck. He was kind of preppy, in all honesty. But
hey, man, I'll fight anyone if I have to, but I know my place, man. I'm not like some super tough dude.
Right.
I've definitely gotten beat up plenty of times.
Oh, yeah. I've had my ass whipped, no doubt.
That is fucking life, man. There's always a bigger fish.
Now, the worst I've ever had it whipped was 100% my fault. But I think I've told that story. I hit a guy in a bar one night, and I don't know if it was a family reunion or a class reunion, but everybody in that bar apparently loved that guy.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No. And it was me and one of the toughest human beings, best fighters I've ever known, but man, we didn't have a chance. We got our ass whooped, dude.
Yeah, I bet.
We got humbled that night.
You're lucky you got home.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the bouncer saved my life because I'd already swung on this bouncer twice.
Damn.
And the third time, he just grabbed me and got in real close. He's like, dude, I'm trying to save your fucking life. I was just like, and I instantly thought, I just kind of went limp and let him drag me out the door. But I had broke teeth and broke ribs. And
yeah. Hold on. You went limp and who the fuck drug you or your big ass out the door?
I was only 230 pounds at the time.
You're still a big man, Jesus.
Yeah, I was still a big dude, but he was like this big. He looked Eastern Islander, like or Samoan.
Right. Oh, okay, yeah. Just a big boy.
I mean, I say I went limp, and he drugged me out of there like he was taking out a bag of garbage.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah. DH, am I right though? Isn't that where I met you at? Was that in the SOE lives? Is that correct? I said that. I'm hoping I'm not misspeaking. It seems like I remember that's where I met you. There are a lot of cool dudes in there, man. But like I said, John it's his live stream, and he's going to talk about what he wants to talk about. And if you don't like it, you can fuck off.
Dude, send me a link. I sort of got to look for it one day, and I couldn't find it or whatever.
I'll send you a link one night. He's probably not live now. I bet that's where Ed.
Well, I mean, like to his channel or whatever.
Yeah, I bet that's where MT and DH came from though, because he's live every night at 9. Yeah.
You know me, I'm kind of a fucking asshole, so I probably like him.
I just thought, I mean, he hand makes American-made shit, with the best quality materials that he can get his hands on, and he charges more than anybody.
Appropriately, yeah.
He'll tell you, if you find it more expensive, let me know. I'll go up. I'm going to be the most expensive. Even if you don't change anything, the price is going to go up. And I kind of respect that. If you have that much confidence in your stuff that you're going to be the highest, regardless, even if it pisses people off. Dude, I've been in there and guys ask like, "Hey man, I ordered this bag 3 weeks ago and I ain't got it yet." And John's like, "Well, I'll refund your money right now. Fuck off." They just don't care.
Yeah, that's fair, man. Yeah, as long as he's like that across the board, like all around, then I get it.
Yeah, because he's like, I've got 100 people that want to buy that bag.
He just does whatever he wants, and that's respectable.
And it must be a great feeling too,
dude,
to be that free
and
what you do for a living that you don't have to care. And I know people hate when I bring this guy up, but I have respect for Greg Megford in that way too. If you don't like his politics, fuck off. You don't want to sell you a knife anyway.
Well, it's like double whammy for me because I don't like his politics, but I don't like him as a person, which is also different from his politics, and I don't like his fucking knives either.
You don't like him, his politics, his personality.
Yeah, like there's nothing about him I like. So I'm just like, I don't fuck with it anymore. I used to talk shit on him publicly or his whatever. It doesn't matter. But I just don't care anymore because I realize that it doesn't matter because I don't like anything about it. If I liked his knives, I'd have some reason to talk shit on him because I'd still want to buy his shit but hate it. Yeah. But I don't want to buy his shit, so
there's lots of people in this world.
Fuck his knives. I don't care.
There's lots of people in this world that I just downright hate and will never change my mind about. But I don't talk about them, and it doesn't change my opinion if other people don't feel the same way.
That's what I'm saying. I just gave up on that whole.
What's wrong with people, Donnie? That you like this guy, then I don't like you. What?
That's what I'm saying. I was pissed about it for a little while, and I just realized that I was being retarded about it, and.
Yeah, and I really like the fact that on all of John's gear, there's a little.
But yeah, I do respect him as a business owner, like as far as what he does as a business.
Oh yeah.
Don't get me wrong on that. I do respect that aspect for sure.
I can't reach any of it.
Right, I just think he's a douchebag.
He kind of is, but he.
And I think his knives are ugly, and that's all. That's as deep as it goes. I think he's a douchebag, and his knives are ugly. That's as deep as it goes.
I like the look of his knives, but I would never carry one.
There's one that I don't mind. It's like the 187 or some shit.
Yeah. I can't picture ever carrying one. You know, when I hold it, it's once again, it's one of those things like, man, I don't fucking stab this. Yeah. It gives me that adrenaline pump, but yeah, I'm not going to pay $600 to $1,200 for something that I'd never carry or use. So.
Cole, what up? Palmer, we're talking about Medford, kind of.
Yeah, we're done with it, though.
But not really. We're not actually talking about him.
Yeah, I almost ruffle any more feathers. You know, I'm a big fan of Mick Strider, too, and there's people that have opinions about him. But let me tell you something, dude. I know.
I never held one of those knives.
Some of them I know personally.
Was great.
Regardless of his knives. I'm talking about people who want to badmouth him in his military service.
Oh, I don't know shit about him.
I know guys.
I can't speak on none of that.
Right. I know guys that know him well and that I know well that will tell you haven't heard the whole story and it's that what you've heard is bullshit. So I take that because when it comes to, especially like all this bashing on the internet right now, people trying to bash and discount Marcus Luttrell's story and Rob. Look, if you weren't there, and you weren't actively being shot at and witnessed these things with your eyeballs, I don't want to fucking hear it from you. You know what I mean? You don't know any more than I know. And that's just the way it is.
I don't know shit about that because I didn't serve or nothing, but one of my best friends from high school, Jeremy, that dude did. And he don't talk about it a lot. But he's told me enough, and I got the ultimate respect. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Let's say there's two opposing opinions right there. Look, M&M Knife says, I don't give a fuck. Medford can't make a knife. His work is trash at best. I respect that opinion. And then Cole, right below it, Medford's a cunny jackass. His knives look cool to me, though. That's kind of how I feel. You know, do I go speak to Greg Medford every year at Knife Show? Sure I do. In all actuality, I go speak to Lindsay more than I do Greg. But you know,
and I get that, man. Like there are knives, well, from custom makers or whatever, but that I think are some of the sexiest knives I've ever seen. And then I got to play with a couple of them. No, I would never own one of them. You know what I mean? But visually, fuck yeah, aesthetically, awesome.
Mick Strider and his knife designs are literally what changed me from appreciating a cutting tool because I carried a CRKT M16 for 8 years. I never thought twice about the blade steel. I was never concerned with how long it held an edge. It did what I needed it to do.
Because you weren't educated.
Yeah. Then I got into knives, and when I discovered the Strider, pick one, the SMF, the DOC, whichever, that literally is what lit a fire under me. I was like, that is the most badass looking thing I've ever seen. It may be uncomfortable. It may have lock stick. It may do this. It may do that. But everything that I love about knives is because of Mick Strider.
So I can't deny that it didn't have some influence on me seeing Striders for the first time.
Yeah.
But I saw him in the fact like that's a big, chunky, badass, looks like you can use a knife.
Yeah.
But there's got to be something cooler.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure there is. I mean,
and by cooler I mean like nicer. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, and I'm not gonna sit here and publicly shit talk any of those dudes that make those knives or whatever, but I don't like them. I've played with them and I don't like them.
Right, I get it.
I've never owned one, so I can't speak on it long term.
Right. Scotch and things loves his.
I know he does, and
he just posted. I think
after
pallet apart.
I think after exactly they work exactly, which I appreciate. After you get your knife, Scotch, bud, I might ask you to send me one to like play with for a little while if you got one.
Oh, he's got one or two.
Well, I know he's got one or two, but if he's got one or two, one for me to play with, I would.
Somebody mentioned it in here. That
probably because I've really ever hold him like at shows a couple times, you know, so I don't really have any experience with them, and I do actually love the way they look. I think aesthetically they do look badass.
Yeah, that's probably the best knife Greg Medford ever made. And
what's that?
The Strider 3/4 or 0.75. You know, so take that for what it's worth because he didn't design it. Yeah. You should see Scotch's Strider cardboard cutout, I can imagine. Now, I will say this. I think the sexiest looking knife I've ever seen, if that makes any sense. It makes me sick because I'll never own it. But that Rotten Design Evo is one of the sexiest things I've ever seen. Not everybody has to agree with that, but to me,
I own one and I really like it. It looks bad as a mother, and it feels bad as a mother. When you're holding it, you're like, yeah, I'm going to fucking chop somebody's arm off with this bitch. I do like it. I don't really have anything shitty to say about it.
Yeah.
That's about as far as what I had to say goes. I like it a lot. Like, it's gnarly and impractical as fuck.
Oh, yeah. Have you seen the smaller one they made?
I'd really like to play with one. I've seen them, but I've never held one.
I think it's the Evo 4. It's like a 3-inch blade, which kind of kills the sexy / maniacal look of it because it's
sure, but I bet it's a lot nicer to actually use.
It's such a better user and carry
because the big one, and you know, my Ripley it's a really long knife.
Yeah,
but it doesn't feel big because it's skinny and shit. You know what I mean?
But it's
and the blade isn't super tall.
Right.
But the fucking my Evo, that fucking blade is like this fucking tall, man. So it feels like you're holding an actual cleaver in your fucking hand.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I said, probably impractical, probably not great in use, but I actually was considering.
I do really like mine though,
because I don't care anything about this anymore. But what if I changed this background right here and put a big finger troll in right here and made this look like an Evo? I mean, it's $50. I got nothing to lose.
Do it, man.
I do love that blade shape, so I'm thinking about trying it.
Do it up, man.
Oh, what Brian said. I remember when I asked Rotten if the Evo was made in China, and he said he didn't know. You've done many runs of this design, and it's your entire income, and you don't know where it's made. Yeah, Brian, that's bullshit. That dude knows exactly where his knife is made. And the fact that he tried to dance around your question is bullshit. Yeah. Yeah. I just don't like CKF because of the owner. I do not respect clone makers. I got you. But, you know, there's also a question of at what point do you consider it a clone? You know, my next design is heavily inspired by Mick Strider. It's not a clone. You know, it doesn't have that funky ass looking sharpening tool in it, and some dimensions have been changed, but it's definitely inspired by that guy. So, And I was a little worried about it because it's mostly the handle. And then I find out that that's just a gun stock handle. And gun stock handles have been around longer than Mick Strider's been alive. So it's not his thing. It just looks like a gun stock. And I never thought about it.
Right. Brian, hit me up personally. I'll talk to you about custom makers not knowing what their heat treat is.
There's probably a lot of them.
More than there should be, bro.
Dude, you know what would really fuck the entire knife industry up?
What?
If we could get a list of all the custom knife makers whose knives are 100% made by New Jersey Steel Bearing and they just assemble them.
That would be interesting to hear.
Now, don't get me wrong, that's still a U.S. maker.
Yeah.
A lot of that, but knives that we think are being made by certain people.
Yeah.
That are, everything's being water jetted and wire EDM.
Well, yeah, all the credit actually goes to fucking New Jersey Steel Bearing.
Right. Yeah.
Not for the design, but for the making.
Right.
In a way.
Would it stop me from buying one? No. But I think it would. I think it would turn the knife world on its head if everybody knew.
How can you, Matt?
Aren't actually
show me a knife that looks like mine. I'm just kidding. I can name several makers that I probably unconsciously taken inspiration from.
Yeah. You can't.
Yeah, literally, like you can't come up with anything new. Like it's not happening.
No. There's no way to do it. You can try to put your own little spin on it. You know, you can.
Somebody's already done the basic principle of what you're doing already.
You can add a little harpoon where there wasn't one. You can add a choil or some jimping where it didn't exist. But we've been way past that for a long. Dude, my first knife was a 9-inch drop point. Somebody told me I copied Ethan Becker, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, or like a caveman that was napping it out of fucking.
Right. How many people have made a 9-inch, regardless of the length? How many people have made a drop point knife?
Right.
You know, there's no such thing as a completely original design anymore. What the hell is this?
I don't know shit about what B&A is talking about. Maybe
I don't know what B&A is talking about.
B&A, have you had too many of these, my friend?
Yeah. And I haven't talked to Mick himself, but I talked to John Willis, the owner of SOE, who's really good friends with Mick, about it. And according to him, he said that, you know, Mick would be honored that I'm making a knife, you know, that he inspired. So
nice.
I'm going to run with that. My knife design is not like any other knife. It doesn't work, and it's a total piece of shit, but it's original.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Do you guys want to see my very first knife I ever made?
Oh, shit.
Like 8 years ago on a 1x30. Dude, this is embarrassing, but I want to show it. I just happened to find it the other day, and it's $10.95, and I kind of forgot where it was, so it's a little bit.
It's only $10.95, sold.
Yeah. Let me grab it.
I'll give you $12 instead of.
Dude, I got 2 weeks of labor in this thing.
Oh, I bet.
Because get this.
B&A, I hear you, man. I fucking hate autocredit. I also hate it because I've trained it to do certain words away, and then when I want them to be their normal way, it doesn't work.
So listen to this. Not only did I make it out of an old file.
I got a couple of those.
Not only did I not anneal it, I didn't even temper it before grinding.
Oh, what? No.
And I did it all on a 1x30.
No, what are you doing? You just hate yourself, or?
Yeah. I was contemplating ending my life at the time. But here it is.
By grinding. End your life by grinding. That's rough, bro.
Here it is.
I like it.
Now everybody's like, dude, is that not? Did you sharpen the wrong side? Because I put that little choil there to rest my thumb.
Yeah.
And it is a working knife. It's thick.
There's dudes that do that.
Yeah, when I told Steve what I tempered it at, he said, dude, that thing's probably 64 HRC.
Yeah, for sure.
What did
you temper it at?
325.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah.
So I took it outside and I dropped it tip down, and there's now a hole in my concrete porch. It
Yeah.
broke the concrete out, but the tip did not break. Would I trust my life to this knife? Sure. It's a fucking hard used badass knife, but it's ugly, dude.
Well, yeah, it might be ugly, but it works.
Right. And it's got this is also where I learned the lesson about grinding what is this wood? Desert iron.
That's your first lesson in grinding wood.
Desert ironwood.
Lies.
It's my first lesson in grinding desert ironwood.
All right.
I had no idea that it was toxic to breathe, and I did.
Sure.
I did this in my bedroom with not even a dust mask.
What?
Yeah, dude, I couldn't breathe for 3 days.
What?
I didn't know. I had no idea.
Why are you standing shit in your bedroom? That's worse than me. You think it's crazy.
I didn't have anywhere to go.
I get it.
You know what these tubes are? I'm a mechanic by trade. Those are 1/4-inch steel brake lines. I literally went to Advanced Auto Parts and bought a 6-inch stick of brake line, cut it, and used it for my tubes.
Hey, man, that works.
Yeah. I probably have $10 in. Well, not count if you count belts. I probably got $30 in this knife, and it is a knife, and it's sharp, and it cuts, and it's rusting because it's 1095, and I've neglected it. But I'll always look back on this and think, man, this is where I started.
Yeah, I got my first thing I ground in or whatever somewhere. I don't know where the fuck it is though.
Oh, do you? Yeah, One Moon called it brake line. You can tell because it's silver around the outside, and they're like copper lined or something.
Yeah.
So, but it made a good looking pen. In all honesty.
No, I mean it looks fine.
Yeah. First knife I made was way better than it had any business being. Spent months on design and planning, made mock-ups and prototypes. Gave up knife making a few years ago though. With Palmer, I literally didn't even draw anything. I mean, when I sat down to start, this was still a file. And I made sure I ground it till I got all the file marks off, and then I started grinding bevels. And legit, every 30 seconds, I'd stop the machine. And at the time, I didn't even know about good ceramic bells. I did this with Harbor Freight bells.
For sure.
It literally took me 2 weeks. Like I come in every night, work for a couple of hours, and get little to nothing done. But I was just impressed that my plunges matched. My tip didn't come out wonky. It's all just the same on both sides. But and this thing's heavy as a brick, though. Never too many mushrooms, but never too much smoke. Todd, I do wear glasses most of the time. I will admit I'm bad. It's not that I forget. I think, man, I ain't put my glasses. Then I can't find them. And then like 30 minutes later, I'll find my safety glasses. But I think I'm going to do away with the safety glasses altogether and just go with a face shield. Because, dude, my face is constantly getting peppered.
Dude, the face shield is where it's at. And I don't care what safety goggles you are wearing. They suck. And you will get something up under something.
Yeah, I have pieces of ceramic hit me in the eyelid all the time with my glasses on.
Yep.
But that's mostly my fault because I'm grinding backwards.
It don't even matter, man. I'm telling you, man. I just get too close.
When I get home, the top of my head literally looks like a ceramic grinding belt. It is so covered in little pebbles. Like I had to start rinsing my head in the sink before I get in the shower.
Right.
Because we have it is a cast iron shower insert, but it's white ceramic coated, and there's rust spots in it where the metal off my head is laying in the tub and rusting after I get out.
Nice.
Yeah. Shane goes to the shop just to get facials. Yeah. But yeah, I am going to switch to a face shield.
Yeah, that's where it's at.
Yeah. And I know I should probably be wearing a respirator, but I try to convince myself that if I stand on the left side of the grinder and the fan's on the right side pulling air away, that's just as good as wearing a respirator.
Oh, is it? I think Dr. Fauci would agree with you.
Dr. Fauci, as long as I bought his fan, booger.
Yeah.
It is like a 5 foot tall industrial. I mean, it's like a fucking hurricane force fan.
No, I know what those fans do, and yeah, you're probably actually fine. Yeah.
Yeah. But I would say though I probably wouldn't feel too bad about wearing at least an N95 just to stop some of the dust. But I check every night. I'm not getting any big black boogers or any of that stuff. So I don't know if I'm breathing it or not.
Well,
Palmer, there's no hair up there to protect already, so I don't know what I'd really be protecting.
I will tell you, I want to hang out later, but fuck, man, I got my sister's wedding tomorrow, and that's annoying as fuck. So.
Well, yeah, I've got Labor Day shenanigans to attend tomorrow, and then head to the shop.
Yeah.
And I'm not complaining, but I've got as many orders right now as I did when I started this venture, so I've got plenty of work ahead of me. By the way, I know a lot of you guys are doing this to just purely to support me. You don't need a knife. Man, I appreciate the hell out of it. This has been hugely beneficial to my physical and mental health, and you guys have no idea how much I appreciate it. And it's also great having people that inspire me like Donnie and Steve and Brian Kim and Alex Steingraber. And I won't say et cetera because it's literally those 4 people. But yeah, man, I appreciate it.
Yeah. It's a cool thing, man. It's nice. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know what I'd do if I couldn't do this, man. Like, I'd be fucked. I don't want to go back to tattooing. That would suck.
Yeah. I really, to be honest though, Donnie, I never expected the level of help or the willingness to give advice that you guys have shown me. I really thought, maybe that's because of my time in the tattoo world. If
that's
they're a apprentice, they're not telling you shit. They don't want to. What's that saying? Rising tides lift all ships. They don't see it that way. They're like, oh, this motherfucker's gonna be my competition one day. I don't film at all.
Yeah.
Well, all right, guys. I guess we're gonna call it. Donnie's got shit to do tomorrow.
Damn! Now I'm calling for everybody. My bad.
Oh no, dude! 2 hours and 17 minutes is long enough.
No, yeah, it was a good live, man. I had a good time.
Yeah, I did too. I wish Brian could have joined us, but maybe another night. I'm trying to get. Man. Alex said he would join us. Said he'd be more than willing.
Steingraber?
Yeah, but he said with kids, it's hard for him to schedule stuff.
Goddamn, you goddamn breeders.
What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do I mean? Y'all got fucking kids. Fuck off. They take up your time. Yeah. I'm selfish. All I get is my time.
Right.
That would be interesting, especially if I was on there, because everybody tells me that dude's kind of a cocksucker. Like an asshole, you know what I mean? But I've watched a bunch of his shit in some of his lives, and I'm like, this dude's just basically like me.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's had, he had a little spiff with Brian, and I get it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but I guess I don't know if I know about that one or whatever, but
yeah, I mean, I think he's dealt with the trolls for so long that he does tend to.
I'm just saying he seems like an asshole in the same sense that you and I are.
Yeah, but he does tend to flip that defensive switch a little bit.
All right.
But hey, man,
it could be fun. That's all I'm saying. It could be a fun live, and you know me, I won't get nasty live or nothing like that.
But yeah, I've respected what he does a lot longer than I've respected who he is.
Me too, and I definitely do. Once Steve Clare let me borrow a Lamia or whatever it is. And it's a fucking awesome knife.
Yeah. He was talking, I know for a fact I heard him talking about, and maybe he was high or drunk or whatever, but I'm pretty sure he was on some shrooms, but he'd mentioned something.
It's not rag. That's what I'm saying. I'm not a cocksucker either. I'm just honest, bro. That's all.
He had mentioned something about an idea of like this makers syndicate kind of thing. He wanted to set up, where makers helping makers and collabing and possibly doing some things that other makers can't. I don't know how serious he was about it. I haven't heard anything about it since.
Was it like, did he talk about it on a live or something?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he was on mushrooms.
Well, tag me in it anyway. I'm interested.
I don't know that I could find it. It was on Instagram, and it lasted for hours. But I think a Maker Syndicate would be really cool, man. If like, kind of like MKM, but making good shit. You know what I mean?
No, totally. No, like I don't disagree with anything you were just saying. He was talking about. No, I'm interested in that dude. I actually, like I said, I started following him and watching his lives and like really paying attention to what he's doing and shit like that. Like I got a lot of respect for that dude.
DH, I don't know if you're going to be at Self Reliance Festival. I have rented a booth there. I was really hoping to be able to bring at least a decent inventory to sell.
It's not right. It's right. Zero babies.
And I'm not complaining, but I've been selling them as fast as I can make them, so I don't know how much inventory I'm going to have when I'm there.
How do you do
In
that?
all honesty, it may come to a point where I just bring some examples and take orders, but I'm really hoping to have at least have, and I'd like to have at least have 10 to sell. You know, if I come
10? I give it a 10. A fucking 10.
But it's entirely possible that I just end up with like 3 or 4 that I can't even sell, that I can just show people and take orders. But anyway, if you're going to be there, I guess that'll be the first time I get to meet you. I think Empty is going, so looking forward to that. But yeah, you're right. His lives with Steve and are fucking hilarious. Edgy, do you make handles? I mean, yes, I make the handles that are on my knives. Hang on, I'll show you one right. Well, here's one. I mean, I bought a sheet of micarta and made this and put these real manly looking pink liners in it by request, which I happen to love. But I got all kinds of scale material. Dude, I've become addicted to scale material. Like it's every night I'm online looking at different scale materials.
Nope. I turned a blind eye to it.
Did you?
I refuse to go down it, man. I can't do it. That's why I only use so much. I'll do anything by request.
Right.
But I can't go down that rabbit hole, man. That's too.
You can literally.
I tattooed. All right, so I can tattoo really well, but my color theory is what I suffered at the most.
Yeah.
When I'm like, oh my god, how do I color this? I don't know. That's how I feel when I'm like picking on knife handle shit.
Yeah. But I just bought a block of composite. I think it's got a little bit of maple burl in it, very little. It's mostly composite, and it's got some of that extruded aluminum stuff in it, and it's $80.
Todd Carr for sure.
And I'll be able to get 3 knives out of it.
Yeah.
You know, I've got 3 sets of scales out of an $80 piece of composite, and I want all of it. I want everything the man makes, but yeah, I just
That's what I'm saying, man. I've used some of that vintage shit. And I get like one knife out of $400 worth of shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, it hurts me.
Yeah. People don't get it, man. It can
and really, you don't make much more money for using it. Mm-hmm. The knife costs more because of the material, but I'm not making really any much more.
It's not like you're marking the material up 100% to make it worth your time. Yeah. You just spent more. Even and in my case, though, a lot of times I'm not even being reimbursed because, like, I've got some Brazilian hardwood that I really like the way it looks as a handle, that I don't have anything in. I'd like to use that on all my knives, but some of my knives I have to use a $30 set of scales instead. You know, if you watched Bob DeMarco today, you realize, you know, in that breakdown of what it cost me to make a knife, you know, that $30 is a big hit. That's what if I could do away with anything right now, Donnie, it would be shipping. That's the part. I hate how much I spend on shipping. It just drives me.
Yeah. That definitely adds up, man.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys. We do this every time. We talk about shutting it down, then we talk for another 20 minutes. But
that's true. It's always a good time, though. Like, I could keep it going, man. If I didn't have shit to do tomorrow, man, fuck, I would keep it going. Yeah, but I like doing this every week if you want to keep it going.
Oh, yeah, dude. I'm good with it. I'm going to get off here and spend the next 6 hours looking at scale material I can afford. You guys know I appreciate any amount of time y'all spend with me. And that's it. Peace. Love y'all.
Yeah, I love y'all.